Chapter 404. Worget's possession, demon transformation, respawn, doppelganger, lightless sky flame pillar, black coffin dead zone, flame slash, 3000 instant slash, 700 million HP was just a matter of time for Lu Chen. The weasel's HP dropped rapidly. Fuck, his damage output is too terrifying. He actually has a passive stun. Isn't he an archer? 2 professions? No, his basic attributes are so high, it's possible that he has 3 professions. Who is this guy? I've never seen him before. The weasel's HP dropped rapidly, and soon, it only had 50 million HP left. Dark blood. At this moment, the few teams that had been watching the battle all attacked at the same time. Focus fire and kill him. No matter how strong he is, he can't fight against so many of us. His doppelganger is gone. Quick, now. Who told you to steal our boss? I'll let you have a taste of it. The dark eye of the gods gave a skill notification, and Lu Chen snorted. I knew you guys wouldn't be honest. You said that I'm unscrupulous, aren't you guys the same? The 9 heavens was never a place for benevolence. Here, the strong were respected, and the winner was king. Lu Chen had been alone for so long, how could he not be careful? In fact, Lu Chen could keep summoning doppelganger, but he purposely didn't summon more doppelganger when the boss HP was only 50 million. His purpose was to test if this group of people would watch obediently when the boss HP was still within his control. Now, it seemed that he had tested it. I've been waiting for you guys to show your true colors. Lu Chen snorted. Universal annihilation, sky shaking. Lu Chen's body was like a cannonball, fiercely bombarding the ground. The ground shook, and the boss and the people who came to ambush him were all lifted into the air, 3000 instant slash. Lu Chen left behind an illusion, and killed 21 people in a 10-hit combo. Fuck, this attack, we can't take it, what are you guys still standing there for? Do you want to watch him steal the boss? Attack together. His 3000 instant slash only has 11 normal attacks. That's right. Even if we can't kill him, as long as he doesn't have time to fight the boss health bar will be full after a while. We can't let him take down the boss easily. Speaking of which, these people had said that Lu Chen was harming others without benefiting himself. But now, they were the ones who were truly harming others without benefiting themselves. The others looked at each other. Now that things had come to this, they had to take a gamble. Lu Chen also understood this point. Naturally, he couldn't just leave the boss alone. Blink Slash had 11 normal attacks, and Lu Chen left the last attack for the boss. After the last attack, Lu Chen quickly followed up with a universal annihilation, back strike. The boss was sent flying again. At this moment, a large number of players rushed towards Lu Chen. Flash. Put him to death. Rapid onslaught. Lu Chen immediately used the 3 attack speed buffs. The black crystal arrows were like tens of thousands of swords, forming a rain of arrows in front of him, pouring down on the enemy. Fuck, his attack speed is so fast. His arrows have no flight path, it's not easy to dodge. Fuck, why are all his arrows critical hits? 100% critical hit rate. Even if it's not easy to dodge, we still have to dodge. We'll be hit until half of our HP is gone. Tank, block for a while, pharmacist, heal. These people were indeed experts. Their skills were top-notch, and they also had many powerful skills. Now, they were using the method of dealing with the boss as a unit. Usually, this group of people cooperated a lot. If they couldn't kill them instantly, then it would become very troublesome. For a moment, all kinds of skills filled the battlefield. Earth-splitting chasm. A huge and ruthless attack disrupted the formation of many small teams. Triple door. Lu Chen used one of his trump cards, then quickly shuttled from the triple door to the back of the team. Those standing behind were either pure damage dealers like the Prophet, Buddha Seal, or healers. Lu Chen immediately shot wildly. Although these professions were very strong, their bodies were weak. A single arrow with double critical hit was able to reduce more than half of their HP. Most importantly, a large number of arrows triggered the confusion effect at the same time, and these people who were casting spells were directly stunned. Once he was stunned, he was only a step away from death. Not good, he's sneaking to the back. Quickly protect the back. Lu Chen instantly killed more than 10 people. At this time, he couldn't continue fighting, or else the boss would leave the battle. After this wave of actions, less than 2 seconds had passed. The boss was still in the air, so Lu Chen quickly followed up with skills. Universal Annihilation, Earth-Splitting Chasm. Suddenly, Lu Chen flashed to the top of the boss head again and fiercely attacked. This huge beast, which was dozens of meters tall and heavy, was blasted to the ground like a cannonball. After Earth-Splitting Chasm, there was an additional chance for a back attack. Lu Chen didn't stop and used a back attack on the boss, sending it flying. When the boss was in the air, Lu Chen shuttled from the second door to the back of the team on the other side and killed 20 people. Universal Annihilation, Sky Fall. The boss that was about to land was sent flying again. Back attack. Triple door shuttling. For the third time, Lu Chen ambushed the back of the team and almost wiped out the healers at the back of the team. A large number of skills were seamlessly linked in Lu Chen's hands. Moreover, it was impossible to predict where he would appear next. Although they knew that he was going to ambush the back of the team, everyone could only watch as he maintained continuous damage on the boss while simultaneously killing the healers of the teams. This made them feel hopeless. Fuck. This guy. He's pissing me off. We can't catch up to him at all. He's using triple door and that universal annihilation to the extreme. Damn it, triple door's displacement is a teleportation type. Even if I locate him, I don't know where he will appear. And that universal annihilation, how long will he stay in the air? Other than that earth-splitting chasm, the boss hasn't woken up at all. Without a healer, in front of Lu Chen's flash shots, even the meat shields couldn't withstand it. After a round of flash shots, the teams suffered disastrous losses and couldn't get closer. At this moment, Lu Chen had already dealt 5 million damage to the boss. Dragon blood boiling. Universal annihilation, 1250% Heaven's Wrath. 1,400,000, 12. 5 times the total damage. It also increased damage by 80%. 31, 5 million damage. Universal Annihilation dealt a total of 37 million damage. Fierce Tiger descends the mountain. 18 hits, 12 million damage. 80% increase, 21. 6 million. It was an instant kill. Congratulations, you have killed Cunning Tiger, level 78 wild boss. You have obtained 31 million aura. You have obtained 5 first promotion second stage talent fragments. You have obtained 1 promotion second star evolution points x6. You have obtained 37 aura points. Ding! Congratulations! You have obtained Demon Beast Core, Orange x1. You have obtained Demon Beast Core, Orange x3. You have obtained Demon Beast Core, Purple, x10. You have obtained Exotic Beast Leg Guard, Dark Gold. You have obtained Exotic Beast Heart, Dark Gold Treasure. Quest complete. Lu Chen turned his head and looked at the shocked crowd. Now, do you have any questions? Chapter 405. While killing the boss, he also took the time to wipe out a group of top-tier players. In the face of such terrifying strength, these parties were speechless. Next time, when you see me fighting a boss, stay away from me. Lu Chen said as he spread his demonic wings and soared into the sky. This guy, he's crazy. Verbius gritted her teeth. Damn it, why is he so strong? Can he deal 50 million damage per second? That's impossible. Sigh, It's more than 50 million damage. He's holding back to deal with us. If he only focused on the boss, his DPS would be higher. It's over. As long as this guy is here, it'll be difficult for us to snatch the boss. We have to avoid him in the future. In the monster forest, Lu Chen sent out Rhubarb, Furball, and Yuan Bing to look for the boss while he looked for a spot with more monsters to farm for monster cores. The monsters here were very strong, and their loot was very good. On average, each monster would drop 2 to 3 purple monster cores. It was a good loot. Rhubarb was much more efficient than Yuan Bing. He was not good at fighting, but Rhubarb was very good at finding things. When Lu Chen returned to the Heart Refinement Courtyard that night, he handed in 5 quests in one go. Sigh, I can only do 5 quests in a day. It'll take me 60 days to complete 300 quests. Lu Chen shook his head. My efficiency is too low. I'll waste almost 2 months here. Forget it. 2 months it is. A heaven tier skill is not worth spending so much time on. Looking at the other 5 quests in his hand, Lu Chen gave it some thought and gave up on them. He might be able to find the boss if he expanded the search area, but Lu Chen still gave up. Lu Chen had handed in 5 quests, which meant that the quests in the other party's hands were invalid. They had to return to the Heart Refinement Courtyard to pick up more quests. However, Lu Chen had stolen many bosses from other parties. After witnessing Lu Chen's strength, they knew that they could not compete with him for bosses for the time being. Damn it, we have to find a way to deal with him. Otherwise, we won't be able to do any missions in the future. He gave up on the other 5 quests. He didn't seem to have found the quest boss. Should we do these 5 quests? What's the use of 5 missions? Hunter Emperor said angrily, he made 5 by himself and left 5 for so many of us. Who does he think he is? But he's too strong. I'm afraid we can't defeat him. Wait a few more days. The Hunter Emperor narrowed his eyes and said fiercely, I will call my master over. By then, no matter how arrogant he is, it will be useless. Hunt Emperor, you want to call your master over? That's great, that's a super expert of the 3rd heavenly layer. Hunter Emperor smiled. Doesn't that guy like to be alone? I'm guessing that he's just an ordinary person who obtained some super great opportunity. People like him are just happy for a moment. I want him to understand that without a strong backer, he'll only be our stepping stone in the end. During this period of time, Lu Chen's daily limit was to farm in stealth mode. When Rhubarb's sub-originator found a boss, he would rush over to deal with it. The days were dull and leisurely. In his territory, there were almost no other players. It couldn't be helped. This guy's method of snatching bosses was so fancy. Healing the boss was nothing. Someone had seen him snatch the boss's aggro by himself and pull the boss 10 miles away. There was another time that was even worse. This guy directly opened a triple door and teleported the boss away. A group of people were fighting the boss, but the boss disappeared. They almost vomited blood. At first, there were still small groups that secretly came to kill the boss. But later, they were completely desperate and could only focus on the 5 quests that Lu Chen gave up. It had been some time since they arrived at the 2nd heavenly layer. Under the guidance of the veteran 2nd heavenly layer players, the Earth players gradually became familiar with the 2nd heavenly layer's strength. After leveling up and upgrading their equipment, the Earth players had already begun to form their own groups to fight the Radiant Moon Werewolves. And after this period of time, the 2nd heavenly layer players who originally attacked the Earth village had fulfilled their original promise and were now leaving. On this day, the representatives of the Earth Village players specially held a farewell party to send these players off. Thank you for your help during this period of time. You have helped the Earth players finally get through the most difficult period. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood shook hands with Tualuo Walker, Lei Yin, and the others. Great Wall, you're welcome. This is what we should do. No, although this is the compensation request that we made at the beginning, you have all done your best when you led us Earth players. In fact, this cooperation has already changed from compensation to cooperation. Tualua Walker smiled slightly and said, everyone, in fact, we don't know each other without fighting. Yes. Great Wall, and everyone, in fact, I have something to say, Tualua Walker said. Please go ahead. Tualua Walker nodded and said, after the fall of Nameless, there is only one mad demon left on Earth. This is not good news for you. In fact, Mad Demon is your hope, but on the other hand, you are also the hope of Mad Demon. The representatives of Earth were surprised and did not understand what Tualua Walker meant. Tualua Walker continued, in the 9 heavens domain, we have just reached the 2nd heavens. As far as I know, all the strong ones have an unimaginable backing behind them. The higher the level of the heavens, the more resources you need for cultivation. That is not something that can be collected by one person. As for your Earth, I now know that it was originally a world that was not even considered a low-level martial world. Therefore, you do not have such a superpower at all. In other words, there is no support behind Mad Demon. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood frowned. This was the first time he heard this. They were also the backing of Mad Demon. Tualua Walker continued, although I am only an insignificant figure in the Jotien, I am after all older and have heard more things. I don't know what secrets are hidden in the 9 heavens domain, but one thing you have to understand is that to be able to attract people from so many worlds to the Jotien, there must be some great secret hidden here. This place is like a stage that gathers people from all over the universe to compete on the same stage. No one can stay out of it. Mad Demon is the strongest person I have ever seen. He is indeed very strong, but he also needs your support. Otherwise, he may be the next Nameless. Let yourself grow stronger. Become his backing. Perhaps this will change the fate of your entire Earth. Tualua Walker really regarded the Great Wall of Iron and Blood as his friends. He even said such words. And these words were like a bomb in the hearts of the Great Wall of Iron and Blood, making their hearts tremble. Earth was a world that could not even be considered a low-level martial world. Then, were the other worlds originally a world that advocated martial arts? No wonder Earth's starting point was so low. Behind the other strong people, there were terrifying forces supporting them, but Mad Demon was fighting alone against hundreds of millions of strong people. After sending off Tualua Walker, the representatives of Earth returned to the temporary meeting place. Everyone fell into silence. Chapter 406. At this point, no one would think that Jotien was an ordinary game anymore. According to Mr. Tualuo, there is something in Jotien that can change our fate. Robert frowned. What do you think, Great Wall? Great Wall pondered for a long time before saying, based on our current feelings, I have reason to believe that Mr. Tualuo is right. Japan's representative said, currently, there is more and more research on Jotien internationally. With the infiltration of research, we realize that the Jotien we know is getting more and more terrifying. Britain's representative said, that's right. Now, it's almost confirmed that in the 2nd heaven, the attributes of the players in the game can affect the real world. If the 2nd heaven is already like this, what about the higher realms? We can make a bold guess. Perhaps in the higher realms, the threshold of influence will continue to expand. Perhaps Earth will enter what Mr. Tualuo said, a low-level martial arts world, or even a higher realm. Great Wall frowned. His leader's prediction was right. Jotien was hiding a huge secret. If this is confirmed, then the rules of the real world will be completely broken, and Jotien's influence will become even more unparalleled. This would definitely be a big deal. Every country would have to make plans to deal with it. However, Great Wall pulled the topic back. Mr. Tualuo said that we are the backing of Mad God. What do you all think? The Indian server representative said, I don't know if we can help Mad God. Yeah, we are too weak now. Mad God is not on the same level as us. Yeah, we can't even take care of ourselves. How can we be the backing of Mad God? Great Wall shook his head and stood up. Everyone, please don't belittle yourself. Although we are weak, don't forget that we represent the entire earth. Mr. Tualuo said that we should be the backing of Mad God. I don't agree. Great Wall said. What I want is not one Mad God, but more. More Mad Gods. Great Wall, that's not very realistic. Not showing. Great Wall asked. In Jiutian, is there anything that is impossible? Mad God is also human. He also came from among us. The second heaven is full of opportunities. Why can't we have more Mad Gods? In the past, we even doubted whether there were aliens in this world. But now, we are competing with countless aliens in Jiutian. We once pursued the power that surpasses nature, and now, we have such an opportunity. If we don't give it a try, I'm sure we'll regret it one day. If we work hard and fail in the end, at least we will have a clear conscience. Friends, perhaps we will never have such an opportunity again in our lifetime. What are you still hesitating for? Everyone, please bring out your determination, to create glory and glory and glory and glory and glory. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood had the unique style of the Chinese military. Even in the face of the unknown nine-heaven world, it was still filled with fighting spirit. Of course, the reason why he avoided talking about Mad God was that he knew Lu Chen's identity as a high-ranking member of the Hua Xia military. Nameless fall meant that Mad God had fallen. But this news could not be said now. It would be a blow to everyone's confidence. His fighting spirit was also contagious to the others. Great Wall, you're right. I don't want to regret not doing my best for the rest of my life. Pakistan's representative said. The African representative also stood up. My friends, opportunities always coexist with challenges. Look at those players. They are the real warriors. They fell and stood up again. We should learn from their spirit. More and more people expressed their views. And this news would soon spread to the offline world of each country. 7 days later, Hua Xia was the first to announce the Nine Heavens Domain Guidance document. The military would enter Jiutian with a real identity and establish the Yanhuang War Zone. The Guild Alliance also announced that the Guild Alliance would be incorporated into the Yanhuang War Zone and obey its command. Other countries followed suit and issued the document. The military of each country officially entered Jiutian in the name of the military and incorporated the Guild Alliance. In addition, each country established the Earth Alliance, and the Global Village was officially integrated. In addition to issuing guidance documents, each country would also invest more funds to buy more powerful equipment on the Galaxy's official website. They would also set up an official tactical research team to guide the reclamation and other matters. Under the strong push of the global countries, Jiutian's popularity reached a new high. Tianqing had said that Jiutian would change the world. Not to mention the fact that the attributes would affect reality, at least in terms of influence, no one could beat it. In such a big environment, the strength of the players on Earth was also increasing rapidly. There were already people who went to the level 60 main city, Freedom City, and explored the Dragon War Wilderness. 2 months later, Lu Chen completed 300 Rainbow Gold missions. He had 1,100 Rainbow Gold gems on him, which could be exchanged for an advanced Earth level skill book. The old man at the exchange office looked at Lu Chen in surprise, his face full of disbelief. 2 months, and you completed 300 Rainbow Gold missions. Lu Chen shook his head. It was a little boring. I was a little lazy in the last month. I'm not saying that you were lazy. You really did it? Lu Chen shrugged. Yes. By the way, what about the last mission? The old man took a deep breath, shook his head, and sighed. It's really unexpected. I didn't expect you to complete 300 Rainbow Gold missions so quickly. Come with me. With that, the old man led Lu Chen into the building behind the Heart Refinement Courtyard. Under normal circumstances, students were not allowed to enter here. They came to the top floor of the building, where they could have a bird's-eye view of the entire heart refinement courtyard and even the forest outside. There was only one room on the top floor. At this time, the door was closed. The old man gestured for Lu Chen to wait there, then knocked on the door. "Come in." A voice came from inside. The old man opened the door and led Lu Chen in. "Dean, this young man completed 300 rainbow gold missions. He wants to see that mission." The furnishings of the room were similar to that of a university teacher's office. There was a desk and a bookcase on the wall, filled with all kinds of information. In front of the desk sat a middle-aged man in white. His ID was Dean, Remnant Life. When the man heard this, he put down the information in his hand, frowned, and narrowed his eyes. He looked at Lu Chen. He completed 300 rainbow gold missions. He is a newcomer, right? Yes, Dean. He was admitted for less than 2 months. What? Completed 300 rainbow gold missions in 2 months. Young man, are you from the 5 major forces? Lu Chen was confused. He shook his head and said, "I'm not." "No? Then how did you do these missions?" Lu Chen was a little embarrassed. How should he answer this question? How did he do it? He did it with his hands. After all, he was the dean. The mission seemed to be in his hands. It was better to be respectful. "Dean, I've been working very hard." The dean and the old exchange master were speechless. "Young man, the dean is asking you. Did you do all those missions yourself?" "Yes." The dean's brows were almost knitted together. One person, in 2 months, completed 300 rainbow gold missions. "Hisyu, you are the student number 312 who hunted the old man in the forest?" "Yes, Dean." Remnant Life nodded thoughtfully. "Well, I don't care what method you used to complete the mission. Since you have met the requirements, you are qualified to see that mission. Follow me." After saying that, the dean got up and walked to the bookshelf behind him. He took out a book. The bookshelf suddenly turned over. It turned out that there was a hidden door here. Remember, there is only one chance for this mission. If you succeed, you can get the heaven-level cultivation method. If you fail, the 300 rainbow gold gems will be confiscated. Have you thought it through? Lu Chen took a deep breath. He didn't expect the mission to be in the refinement heart courtyard. It came so fast that he didn't even have time to prepare. However, did he need to prepare? Lu Chen took a deep breath. "I have thought it through." Chapter 407. The secret door behind the bookshelf was connected to a spiral staircase. Lu Chen followed behind the dean and the old man, walking up the seemingly endless staircase. After walking for an unknown amount of time, Lu Chen opened his personal map. The map was completely black, but he could see a small dot representing himself. Zooming out of the map, Lu Chen was surprised to find that he was roughly at the bottom of the huge lake around the heart refinement courtyard. There were torches on both sides of the road. The light from the torches flickered and finally, a large door was revealed. The door wasn't big, only 3 meters tall. Compared to the other entrances that were tens of meters tall, it was a bit shabby. Standing next to the iron door, Kenshin stopped. "Young man, can you tell me your ID?" Lu Chen thought for a while. "Dean, you can call me Nameless." "Nameless?" The dean pondered over the name and smiled. "I don't think it's the nameless. You want to make a name for yourself, but you don't want to leave your name. It's not easy to see fame and fortune at such a young age. Nameless, this is the place you are looking for. After this door, it leads to the Tiger Dragon Lake, which is our heart refinement courtyard's moat." As if he thought of something funny, Kenshin laughed. "It's funny. There are always students asking me if there really is a tiger dragon in the Tiger Dragon Lake. I really don't know how to answer. Halfway through his words, he turned his head and looked at Lu Chen meaningfully. Lu Chen's legs suddenly trembled. This time, he was really a bit weak. This instance is underwater. He never had any experience fighting underwater. Moreover, the Jiutian could be seen as no different from the real world. In other words, he would really be fighting underwater. Lu Chen had never been to the sea, but from the videos online, he felt that he might have a phobia of the deep sea. No way. Dean, are we fighting underwater? I have a lot of skills that I can't use. Kanshing shrugged his shoulders. This is something you need to consider. Lu Chen frowned. Alright, the Dean was right. How he fought was his own business. Alright, if you're ready, then go in. As he spoke, the Dean took out a key and opened the metal door. Lu Chen took a deep breath. Since he was already here, there was no reason not to enter. Behind the iron gate, the scene was strange. It was pitch black inside, but one could hear the sound of flowing water and some indescribable sounds. They seemed to be the low moans of some kind of creature. Lu Chen tried to touch the darkness in front of him with his hand, but he only felt liquid. When he pulled his hand back, his hand was completely wet. Behind the door was the bottom of the lake, but the water was completely isolated behind the iron door. Ahead, it was pitch black. How could he fight in such an environment? Not to mention, there was a deadly super boss inside. Lu Chen had never felt so unconfident before. Before facing that unknown creature, Lu Chen first had to overcome the fear in his heart. What? Don't you dare to go. Kanshing looked at Lu Chen with a faint smile. This is normal. When I first came here, I stood at the door for a full 20 minutes. Actually, you just have to think about your colorful. Before Kanshing finished speaking, Lu Chen suddenly took 2 steps back and jumped into the lake world outside the door. Kanshing was speechless. It was rare for him to share his experience, but that guy was not listening at all. This kid's psychological quality is not bad. Kanshing smiled. Old Ma, do you think he has a chance? Old Ma's ID was Old Ma. Maybe it was the same as 10 steps 1. It was a mistake in naming. He did not show his ID, but the Dean still knew it. Not likely. Old Ma said, you and I have seen many geniuses here, but no one has successfully passed through here. Obtaining a heaven-level technique in a second heaven is already against the heavens. It is naturally very difficult to go against the heavens. Kanshing nodded. Indeed, I have passed through it once, but to be honest, I definitely don't want to do it a second time. Actually, I wanted to tell him that it is right to be afraid. Oh, by the way, did that guy learn the air sealing technique or the spiritual energy inner breathing technique? I don't know about that. Dean, don't worry about him. You almost violated the rules by telling him what is in the lake. If you remind him again, you might lose your position as the Dean. Kanshing sighed. Actually, I really hope that someone can do what I can't do. Moreover, he is a student of the Heart Refining Institute. Also, I have a feeling that he is not ordinary. Old Ma, let's go and watch the live broadcast. Let's see how much potential that kid has. The Dean also had an advantage, which was that he could watch Lu Chen's live broadcast. The two quickly left and returned to the Dean's office. In a private compartment of the Dean's office, there was a crystal ball in the middle. Kanshing pressed his hand on the crystal ball, and the crystal ball responded by showing the situation at the bottom of the lake. It turned out that the so-called live broadcast was not a real live broadcast, but a crystal ball image. And Kanshing was actually a prophet. The crystal ball was pitch black, and only a long status bar could be seen. At this time, the durability was slowly decreasing. Looking at the status bar, Kanshing and Old Ma looked at each other. Breathing slot. It's over, there's no hope. Pitch black, there was something worse than this. When Lu Chen gritted his teeth and jumped in, he found that he could not breathe. You have not learned the air sealing technique related to the air sealing technique. Your Heart Sutra has not been upgraded to the spiritual energy inner breathing technique stage. You cannot hold your breath for a long time. According to your physique, your breathing slot is 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Lu Chen was speechless. What the hell was the air sealing technique? No one told him about it. Of course, he had never seen it before. As for the Heart Sutra, he was still using the most primitive demon beast breathing technique without the support of the fake Mukun Pearl. It was the kind of stuff that added 1 point of pure spiritual energy every minute. Lu Chen's spiritual energy was mostly increased by elixirs, followed by the Mukun Pearl. His spiritual energy was very high, so he was not in a hurry to find the Heart Sutra. Of course, in fact, he had not encountered a high-level Heart Sutra. All in all, Lu Chen had a deadly breathing slot. What a 4 minutes and 44 seconds, 444, damn it. He opened the map, but it was pitch black. Where is the boss? I can't see it at all. Where should I swim now? Don't worry, it should be nearby. The dean said that he had challenged it before, so there must be someone who tried to kill it before. I don't believe that I am the only one who did not learn the air sealing technique. If they can meet the boss, so can I. 4 minutes left in the breathing slot. This boss is in the water, so its attacks are very likely to be elemental attacks. Little Originator is not suitable to fight here. Little Furball, since he was going with the flow, Lu Chen summoned Little Furball. As soon as the little guy appeared, it found itself in the water. Its 2 cheeks were bulging, and its 2 little claws were flailing wildly. With great difficulty, it grabbed Lu Chen's clothes and refused to let go. Little Furball also had a breathing slot. Lu Chen looked at the time. 30 minutes left. Are you a demon? 30 minutes. Although Little Furball's breathing slot was very long, it looked panicked and could not fight. If I run out of breathing slot, you can give me mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Lu Chen shuddered as he imagined himself fighting and Little Furball giving him air. Forget it, putting away Little Furball, Lu Chen waited anxiously. 2 minutes left in the breathing slot. Am I going to suffocate to death? Lu Chen could not help but think of this possibility. Suddenly, Lu Chen felt an undercurrent in the water rushing toward him from all directions. Lu Chen immediately put in 120% of his energy. It's coming. Unfortunately, he still could not see anything. Since he could not see, then he would not look. Lu Chen simply closed his eyes. Dark eyes of the gods. I'm counting on you this time. Chapter 408. When Lu Chen was dealing with the immortal slaughtering pharmacist, the Eye of the Dark Gods did not work. He had to rely on reverse moon chasing to locate the immortal slaughtering pharmacist. The reason was that the star-level poison body was also a type of technique. The Eye of the Dark Gods was too low level and could not break it. However, it was different now. Lu Chen could not see the opponent because of the light. Sure enough, the Eye of the Dark Gods sent a rough image. Lu Chen could vaguely see a huge winding body swimming around him. This boss was over 150 meters long. Its head was like a tiger's, but it had long whiskers. Its body was like a python covered in scales. This guy was the Real Tiger Dragon. There was indeed a real tiger dragon under the Tiger Dragon Lake. No wonder the water was flowing from all directions. Lu Chen was already surrounded. In the director's office, Ken Sheng looked at the treasure floating beside Lu Chen's shoulder. Eye of the Dark Gods. I didn't expect that kid to have such a treasure. This thing is very difficult to obtain. Old Ma also said, it is indeed difficult. Unless someone tells you in advance, it is impossible for an ordinary person to obtain enough fragments to evolve the Eye of the Dark Gods. Ken Sheng frowned slightly. Although the Eye of the Dark Gods can help him see his surroundings, this is only the easiest problem to solve. His movement speed is reduced by 30% underwater, but the boss is not affected at all. Old Ma said, I think that nothing is more important than his breathing tank. That kid only has 1 minute and 53 seconds left. Tiger Dragon Lake Bottom Lu Chen had already activated War God's Possession and Demon Transformation. The other two opening skills that he had to use, Lightless Sky Flame Pillar and Black Coffin Dead Zone, could not be used underwater. Poison is disabled underwater. Lu Chen looked at the status of his skills, including Black Coffin Dead Zone. Poison attacks were all ineffective. This was not good news. Lu Chen forced himself to calm down and encourage himself. It's just a poison attack. I still have many techniques that I can use. I am now level 92, and my damage is higher than before. I don't believe that I can't defeat it. After sizing up his opponent, the Tiger Flood Dragon launched an attack. Its huge body moved surprisingly quickly in the water. It opened its mouth and pounced on Lu Chen in the blink of an eye. Dark Night Blink. Lu Chen hastily dodged. However, although Lu Chen dodged the tiger head, the tiger dragon's body was too large. When Lu Chen appeared, the tiger dragon's body just happened to pass by him. In an instant, the tiger dragon's scales burst open. Lu Chen, who only relied on the eye of the dark gods to see things, happened to be unable to observe such minute changes. Caught off guard, he was continuously scratched by the scales. Minus 250,000, reverse scale, minus 250,000, minus 250,000. Within 1 second, Lu Chen was hit by the reverse scale 5 times in a row, with an average of 0.2 seconds. Moreover, the reverse scale had a very strong adhesive effect. After each hit, Lu Chen's movement would be slowed for a short period of time, causing him to lose 1.25 million HP before he could struggle free. After struggling to free himself, Lu Chen was horrified. This guy. I can't even touch it. One reverse scale took away 1.25 million HP. He had 5.3 million HP, a quarter of it was taken away in 1 second. Lu Chen began to realize that it was not without reason that this guy could not be killed. In melee combat, even if he was continuously stunned, he would definitely not be able to withstand the damage from the reverse scale. To kill this guy, he had to use a bow and arrow. Now, Lu Chen was not in a hurry to recover his HP. He first used Flash Shot to increase his movement speed. Clone. At that moment, the tiger dragon turned its head, opened its huge tiger mouth, and let out a high-frequency ear-piercing sound. Water Wave Resonance. Spiral Whirlpool Water Knife. This guy used 2 skills at the same time. When Lu Chen heard the sound, Lu Chen and the surrounding clones all lost HP, minus 590,000. Debuff, Nerve Paralysis, unable to use martial arts, unable to move. It could be said that it was an all-out attack. All the clones were lucky enough to survive, but their HP was slightly higher than Lu Chen's, around 700,000. Immediately after, the surrounding water swirled wildly, forming a huge whirlpool. Under the rapid rotation, the water turned into sharp blades, crazily slashing at the enemy's body. 23,000, 23,000, 23,000. It was always Lu Chen who attacked others, and the damage was everywhere. This time, Lu Chen and his clones finally experienced the same feeling. Fuck, I can't break free. At the same time, Lu Chen noticed that the water knife's damage to the clones was surprisingly high. Each attack could deal 132,000 points of damage, 6 times the damage of Lu Chen himself. The spiral whirlpool water knife lasted for a full 40 seconds, until Lu Chen's clones were all killed. Lu Chen's mind was now extremely shocked. This skill of the tiger dragon. It specialized in killing clones. The battle had just begun, and Lu Chen's second trump card had already been nullified. His clones were directly killed. After being hit 3 times, Lu Chen lost HP, 1.25,590,000, 920,000, a total of 2.76 million. Half of his HP was gone. And Lu Qin did not even have a chance to fight back. The worst thing was that Lu Qin only had 1 minute left in his breathing tank. D*MN, this boss is so strong. Lu Qin's brows were tightly knitted together. The tiger dragon was obviously also an expert. It did not give Lu Qin any extra time to think. Its huge body once again pounced over. 7 stars chasing the moon. Lu Qin did not dare to move in the direction of the tiger dragon. Otherwise, it would be difficult to avoid the tiger dragon's reverse scale that was everywhere. Water arrows shooting the moon. The surrounding water transformed into countless sharp arrows, shooting at Lu Qin from all directions. Lu Qin felt a headache coming on. He was at the bottom of the lake, and there was water everywhere. In other words, everywhere could become arrows. Even if he had the reverse moon chasing state, it was impossible to avoid all the attacks. This was the first time Lu Qin felt that even with the reverse moon chasing state, his displacement skills were not enough. He was chasing the moon, while the opponent was shooting the moon. Obviously, the tiger dragon was stronger. Under the barrage of arrows, Lu Qin was hit frequently. -240,000. Debuff, Water Ghost Dragging, 1 stack, movement speed reduced by 5%, displacement skill cooldown increased by 1 second. This status cannot be purified by low-level techniques. -210,000. Debuff, Water Ghost Dragging, 2 stack, tunnel speed reduced by 10%, displacement skill cooldown increased by 1 second. This status cannot be purified by low-level techniques. -230,000. Debuff, Water Ghost Dragging, 3 stack, tunnel speed reduced by 15%, while dodging and moving, Lu Qin had already been hit 5 times, each time dealing 1,100,000 damage. There were also 5 stacks of Water Ghost Dragging, which reduced his movement speed by 25%, and displacement skill cooldown increased by 5 seconds. Lu Qin looked at his own debuff and almost vomited blood. Was this fucking infinite stacking? Movement speed underwater was already 30% slower. With 5 stacks of Water Ghost Dragging, Lu Qin's reverse moon chasing could no longer reset displacement skill without a cooldown. Lu Qin felt as if he was being dragged by a water ghost, and his movements were as slow as a tortoise. Extreme Frost Sky Ice Spike. The eyes of the gods of darkness gave a warning. A danger zone had appeared beneath Lu Qin. However, the preparation time for Extreme Frost Sky Water Pillar was too short. It was about the same as Lightless Sky Flame Pillar, about 0.2 seconds. Lu Qin did not even have the time to refresh his skills or use displacement skill. Suddenly, a gigantic ice spike appeared beneath him, piercing through Lu Qin's abdomen. After piercing through Lu Qin's abdomen, the heavenly ice spike continued soaring into the sky. In just a few seconds, Lu Qin was poked out of the water by the heavenly ice spike. He was suspended 30 meters above the heavenly ice spike. At the last moment of his life, Lu Qin heard a voice. "Foolish human, this is your outcome for daring to challenge this king. Hanging your corpse for public display." Chapter 409. In the heart-refining courtyard, a loud noise came, and people looked in the direction of the sound source. They saw that the Tiger Dragon Lake, which used to be calm, raised a huge wave, and a thick ice spike pierced dozens of meters high from the lake. Under the sunlight, the edges and corners of the ice spike refracted crystal light. "What's going on? What's going on over there?" "I don't know, let's go and see." "Strange, look, there seems to be something at the top of that ice spike." The students of the heart-refining courtyard rushed to the lakeside. It wasn't until they got closer that they saw the situation at the top. A red figure was pierced by a sharp ice spike. The man was facing up, his limbs and neck hanging down weakly, and blood kept flowing along the ice spike. "My God, this is..." After being in the Jotian for so long, it's strange that they haven't seen a dead person. However, after a player dies, The corpse generally doesn't change much, but this corpse died so tragically, but it was still so lifelike. Someone broke into the Tiger Dragon Lake. It's that guy. That crazy newcomer. Isn't this death a little too tragic? With all the pain, it's definitely a fate worse than death. He also has a day like this, he's crazy. Humph, it's good to die. Sengoku Yenran covered her mouth in shock, a pair of starry eyes stared at Lu Chen in horror. It's really him. He went to challenge the Tiger Dragon Lake. Although Yenran hates Lu Chen, perhaps it's a personality problem. Yenran is different from Hunter Emperor. Yenran only thinks about how to defeat Lu Chen, but Hunter Emperor has not been seen for several days. It's said that in order to deal with the madman, he has been planning something big. Therefore, when Yenran saw that Lu Chen died so miserably, she didn't gloat like some people. It is said that the Tiger Dragon is the king of the monster forest. It is extremely powerful. In history, it seems that the Tiger Dragon has only been defeated 3 times. That kid challenged the Tiger Dragon is simply courting death. It is said that the Tiger Dragon has a heaven-level cultivation technique, is it true? It seems to be true, but so what? In the second layer heaven-level cultivation technique is a heaven-defying existence, so it's not an exaggeration to say that the Tiger Dragon is a third-layer creature. If an upper heaven creature can beat a lower heaven creature back to level 1, then could this guy? I'm just saying. I don't think he'll drop back to level 1. Beside the two of them, an expert in the top 20 of the arena said indifferently, don't you know? Using 300 colored gold gems can preserve one's cultivation. In order to protect the students, the Heart Refinement Academy requires that one must complete 300 colored gold missions before they are qualified to challenge the Tiger Dragon. I just didn't expect that there would actually be an idiot who would give 300 pieces of rainbow gold to the Tiger Dragon for free. In the crowd, a 13 or 14-year-old girl looked at the corpse on the ice spike in horror. There was once a big brother dressed in red. When she had already given up hope, he gave her an orange gem, allowing her to finally enter the heart-refining courtyard. It was a pity that she was so focused on the heart-refining courtyard that she didn't even look at that person. When she noticed the gemstone beside her, she could only vaguely remember that the person was wearing a set of red clothes and had a very gentle voice. It had been 2 months since she came to the Heart Refinement Courtyard, but she had never seen that red dress again. And now, she saw it. She was still not sure if that person was that big brother, but she was very worried. She was worried that the person in front of her was her big brother. It can't be you, right? Big brother, you just came to the Heart Refinement Courtyard. It's impossible for you to get such a colorful gem in such a short time. It can't be you. The Tiger Dragon's attack injured the internal organs. That kind of fatal pain is not something that an ordinary person can endure. Moreover, that person shouldn't be dead yet. The Tiger Dragon likes to let people slowly die in pain. The girl seemed to be talking about the past as she looked at the person on the ice spike with worry. Not long after, the surface of the Tiger Dragon Lake surged and a terrifying creature emerged from the bottom of the lake. The Tiger Dragon Lake was named because of it. It was the true master of the Tiger Dragon Lake. The Tiger Dragon gradually floated into the air. From its pitch-black body that was over 100 meters long, the lake water poured down along its scales like a waterfall hanging in the air. How is it? How does it feel to live a life worse than death? The extreme cold heavenly ice spike will make your blood flow very slowly. This way, you will die even slower. Since you are qualified to challenge me, I believe that you are one of the best in the Heart Refinement Courtyard. What I like the most is to torture and kill so-called geniuses. After 3 days of your death, your soul won't be able to revive. Your corpse will be hanging here for 3 days and 3 nights. No matter how famous you are in the Heart Refinement Courtyard, in front of me, you will lose miserably like a stray dog. You will lose all your dignity. Lu Chen's consciousness was very blurry. Logically speaking, he was already used to using full pain perception. However, the injury this time almost caused him to lose consciousness. His internal organs were pierced and he didn't die immediately. The tiger dragon purposely left him a few tens of thousands of points of blood. Boss, boss, wake up. A voice kept repeating in Lu Chen's mind. It was anxious and heartbroken. It was Xiao Min. Lu Chen gradually regained consciousness. Xiao Min. Where's my nirvana rebirth, master? You are not dead yet. It's just that the excessive pain caused you to lose consciousness temporarily. This is not a Jiutian setting. It's a method unique to the tiger dragon. Some people didn't suffer too much pain while others were tortured to the point that they wished they were dead. Unfortunately, Lu Chen was suffering the latter's torture. Lu Chen opened his eyes slightly. The intense pain caused large beads of sweat to appear on his forehead. As far as his eyes could see, a sharp ice spike extended 3 to 4 meters into the sky from his abdomen. He was hanging from this ice spike and his body seemed to be sliding down continuously. The ice spike was cone-shaped. The lower it went, the more his wound was opening up. This pain caused Lu Chen to tremble all over. Human, is it very painful? I will give you a chance. Admit your inferiority and incompetence. I can let you suffer less and let you be free earlier. Defy the heavens. It's not something a lowly creature like you can do. Regardless of whether the people in the heart refinement courtyard liked Lu Chen or not, the tiger dragon's words pierced everyone's hearts. The tiger dragon actually looked down on humans. However, at this moment, what can people say? Nameless tyrannical strength was famous in the heart refinement courtyard, but in the battle with the tiger dragon's blood bar was not shown. He didn't touch the tiger dragon at all, and he was already killed. This kind of disparity in strength, like the difference between heaven and earth, cannot be made up for by anger. Dare not speak out. Zhang Gui Yanran stared at the tiger dragon, clenched her fists tightly, and the idea in her heart became more firm. The third layer of heaven, I must go. The girl frowned slightly. Why did she leave her family alone to experience the world? Isn't it just to become stronger earlier? Now, the absolute strong tiger dragon is in front of her. When can she defeat it? Human, beg me. The tiger dragon roared unscrupulously, beg me to let you go, you ant. Beg me. At this moment, a weak voice sounded. His voice was different from the past because of weakness and anger. It was low but very firm. I beg your mother. A bloody hand grabbed the ice spike in front of him. He was moving his body up from the ice spike little by little. The indescribable pain made his face sweaty. If you say, I can't even beat you, then I, really, weak. Chapter 410. Someone who took out the broken arrow from his body was already pale from the pain, not to mention that Lu Chen was now pulling his body out of the ice thorns. It was a miracle that he didn't faint from the pain. The students of the heart refining courtyard saw Lu Chen's action and couldn't help but gasp. This guy's endurance was simply unimaginable. Sengoku Yenran's eyes were round. Lu Chen defeated her, and it didn't affect her more than this. You lunatic, the ice thorns in front were thin enough. Lu Chen slammed his palm and cut the ice thorns. Ugh! Tiger dragon. I want you to pay back 100 times. Ah! Accompanied by a heart-wrenching scream, Lu Chen forcibly broke free from the broken ice spike. Struggling to turn over, Lu Chen stood on the broken section of the ice thorns, holding his abdomen with one hand. There was a big hole there, but fortunately, it was quickly healing. Black Flood Dragon watched Lu Chen break free from the ice thorns, but did not stop him. Ha ha ha, I enjoy the pain you show. Lu Chen's chest rose and fell violently. Looking at the bloody abdomen, which had stopped bleeding, he raised his head and stared at Black Flood Dragon. You should regret not killing me just now. Lu Chen's voice was cold. Oh. Really? What, you want to turn the tables? I'm not afraid to tell you, even if you can resurrect, I will kill you several times. Lu Chen's mouth raised. Want to see my second life? You're not qualified. Tiger Dragon sneered. Sure enough, there is a second life, but I forgot to tell you, among the strong people I killed, you are not the only one with 2 lives. Since you still have hope in your heart, then I have to let you completely despair. I'll let you see the real gap between you and me. I'm waiting to enjoy your desperate expression. The tiger flood dragon suddenly roared. Roar! Dragon aura, beast god. This roar was earth-shattering and deafening. The entire heart-refining courtyard was like an earthquake, and the danger was imminent. At the same time, countless beasts roared from the demonic beasts' forest. It was as if they were responding to the king of the forest. The tiger flood dragon's already huge body doubled in size. Its body was now 300 meters long as it coiled in the air. This is the tiger flood dragon's heavenly might body. So strong. Is this the second or third layer of godly might? My divine might is completely suppressed, and my attributes are reduced by 20%? My God, even if it's only at the second layer of godly might, it can still do as it pleases in the second layer of heaven. The tiger dragon is so terrifying that it's impossible to defeat it. Lu Chen narrowed his eyes slightly. This guy's draconic aura was so strong that it had already suppressed his celestial aura. His attributes had also been reduced by 20%. Now that it had come to this, he couldn't hold back anymore. Lu Chen glanced at the tiger flood dragon lake and dived in without hesitation. Enter the water. The group of people couldn't believe their eyes. There were many cultivation techniques that couldn't be used underwater. Now that the tiger flood dragon had finally come out of the water, that madman had entered the water himself. Does that guy know how to fight? Isn't he courting death by entering the water in front of the tiger flood dragon? It's over. I was scared by his willpower just now, but he actually entered the water himself. There's no suspense now. It's all over. He won't be able to get past the tiger flood dragon. Even Sengoku Yenran couldn't believe her eyes. She had fought with Lu Chen before, but in reality, the battle between them was just a battle between the little furball and the black flame dragon emperor. Yenran had never really experienced Lu Chen's methods. However, the group of people who had their boss stolen by Lu Chen were even more surprised. That guy's actual combat ability was very strong. He shouldn't have done such a brainless thing. Entering the water at least gave Lu Chen some time to breathe. Lu Chen raised his hand and gave himself a rejuvenation. Then, he took out the treasure from the bottom of his backpack. Divine Blood Demon Seed. He didn't expect that Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary would evolve his divine might before encountering a purgatory-level heavenly domain boss. However, an opponent like the Tiger Flood Dragon might not be weaker than Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary. After all, it was a level 2 existence. Lu Chen speculated that its strength was on par with Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary. Moreover, that guy had already used level 2 divine might. Its own strength was so terrifying. It would be difficult for him to match it when he was seriously injured. He could only use it. Evolved Divine Might Demonic Might. After using the Divine Blood Demon Seed, Lu Chen quickly formed a new Heaven's Might skill. Extreme Mortal Body Divine Might evolved into Beginner Immortal Body Divine Might. Extreme Mortal Body Divine Might evolved into Beginner Demon Weapon Divine Might. At the same time, he obtained a new Divine Might skill. Beginner Immortal Body Divine Might, increase level limit by 30%. The amount of heaven and earth spirit energy obtained from killing monsters with a 30% difference in level will no longer decrease, stackable. Beginner Demon Weapon Divine Might, increase level limit by 30%. The amount of heaven and earth spirit energy obtained from killing monsters with a 30% difference in level will no longer decrease, stackable. Level 2. Lu Chen's level limit increased to level 160. Reverence to Heaven Divine Might rose to level 2. After actively using innate divine might, the attribute sacrifice effect increased from 20,000 to 400,000. At the same time, the user's weakened state duration decreased by 1 day to 6 days. Defiant demonic might rose to level 2. After actively using it, the forced attribute absorption also increased to 400,000, and the backlash state lasted for 6 days. Lu Chen didn't plan to use these two active skills for the time being. The Tiger Flood Dragon's power level was not lower than his, so he couldn't forcefully absorb its attributes. Although adding 400,000 attributes was strong, the after-effects still existed. Unless it was absolutely necessary, Lu Chen wouldn't use it. As long as his power level was high enough, he wouldn't be affected by the other party's divine might. That was enough. In addition, Lu Chen's star level directly increased to level 1-2 stars. His attributes increased, and he could fuse 2 new bloodlines. Immortal Body Divine Might can increase 2 of your talents to level 1-9. Please select the talents you wish to increase. Time was tight. Lu Chen didn't have time to think. He first chose the vampire talent of Bat Demon Bloodline. Only vampire could compete with the reverse scale. Talent 9, Bat Demon Bloodline, level 1-9 vampire. Absorbs 40% of the HP of damage caused by attacks, all types. Increases healing effect by 50%. Reduces bleeding damage by 50%. After the Bat Demon Bloodline leveled up, there were many qualitative changes. First, it originally only absorbed a percentage of the HP of physical damage. Now, it had become a full-type vampire. There was also an additional bleeding resistance. I still have to choose one. The huge black shadow behind him was rushing over at an extremely fast speed. Lu Chen desperately swam to the bottom of the lake, but he wouldn't be able to last long before he was caught. With the 40% all-damage vampire, Lu Chen wasn't too afraid of the Tiger Flood Dragon's reverse scale. Then, he could also pursue a more powerful attack ability. Currently, the strongest attack talents were the Werewolf Bloodline's critical hit and the Tiger Demon's combo attack. Lu Chen weighed the pros and cons and decided to level up the Tiger Demon Bloodline. Currently, Lu Chen's critical hit was already over 100%. It was just that the critical hit multiplier still needed to be increased. Therefore, critical hit wasn't something he urgently needed to increase. As for combo attack, not only did he enjoy critical hit, poison attack, and various other passive effects, the effect of one more combo attack would be significant. Talent 3, Tiger Demon Bloodline, level 1-9 can quickly launch 5 attacks per attack. 5 combo attacks, very good. In the last bit of time, Lu Chen could only add 1 bloodline first. Increase Rock Armor Bear Bloodline. Talent 10, Bear Demon Bloodline, level 0 increase max HP by 2%, increase damage immunity by 5%. This talent was a defensive type. The max HP was a little lower, but the damage immunity was very strong. Level up to level 9. Talent 10, Bear Demon Bloodline, level 9 increase max HP by 20%, increase damage immunity by 12%, 1% chance of completely negating one attack. 12% damage immunity, 40% vampire, enough. The deeper he went to the bottom of the lake, the greater the water pressure. Lu Chen's speed also became slower. At this time, the Tiger Flood Dragon had already caught up. Suddenly, Lu Chen turned around and pounced on the Tiger Flood Dragon. Earth-splitting chasm. The wishful long staff suddenly turned into a shadow and smashed the Tiger Flood Dragon. Chapter 411. Earth-shattering gully's quality was too low. Although the Tiger Dragon was huge, it was very agile underwater and avoided the attack. However, earth-shattering gully still smashed into the muddy bottom of the lake. Suddenly, the mud at the bottom of the lake was stirred up, and the surrounding lake water became murky. Lake water is murky, visibility reduced by 90%. However, this system notification did not affect Lu Chen at all, because he was relying on the eye of the dark gods to see. On the other side, the tiger dragon's vision seemed to be greatly affected, and it stopped chasing. Lu Chen smirked. Unfortunately, he could not speak underwater, or he would definitely tell the tiger dragon. The counterattack has begun. After entering the water, Lu Chen's breathing tank was only 60 seconds, probably because his body was heavily injured, which reduced his ability to hold his breath. The mud was falling, and it could only temporarily affect the black dragon's vision. I have to kill this guy as soon as possible. I can't waste a single second. Lu Chen took out the dragon crystal bow. Death's Land. After using rejuvenation, Lu Chen's HP was 2,700,000. After deducting 20% of his maximum HP, which was 1,080,000, he was left with about 1,600,000. Dragon's Blood Boil. After reducing 80% of his current HP, he had less than 500,000 HP left, which was less than 1/10 of his HP. 2 reverse scales would be enough to kill him. However, under such a low HP, the buff from Death's Land and Dragon's Blood Boil was extremely terrifying. Increased attack speed by 360%, increased damage by 80%. Flash Shot. Rapid Attack. Lu Chen's speed was extremely fast, and he shot 30 arrows in 1 second. The black crystal arrows had the special effect of permethaw, so they were not affected by the water flow. A large number of black dots flashed and shot toward the tiger dragon. -610,000, double critical hit, 300,000 pierce resistance, -220,000, 110,000 pierce resistance, -1,080,000, triple critical hit, 540,000 pierce resistance. Using the mud to block the tiger dragon's vision, Lu Chen finally had a chance to deal damage. The 30 arrows dealt a total of 23.4 million damage. One of the arrows did not have a critical hit, which showed that if there was no critical hit, the tiger dragon would have received around 220,000 damage. This was the attack damage with Dragon's Blood Boil. If there was no Dragon's Blood Boil, the arrow would only deal 130,000 damage. After being hit, the tiger drake's HP was finally displayed. Its HP was not particularly high, only 1.5 billion. It was about the same as the boss of the Monster Forest's iridescent gold quest. However, it was obvious that this guy's strength was not on the same level as them, especially underwater. Although it wasn't much, it was still 1.5 billion. Lu Chen's wave of attacks only took away a sliver of health. Only 220,000 without critical hits. Not only is its physical defense high, its scales also have piercing resistance, reducing piercing damage by an additional 50%. Lu Chen calculated in his mind. Based on this damage, using only arrows to attack was too little. He had to engage in close combat to kill it. There was also another point. After Lu Chen dealt 23.4 million damage, he had more than 9 million lifesteal. His health was full. After the HP boost, Lu Chen's HP broke through the 6 million mark. Once his HP was full, the effect of Deadland would disappear. This would be a huge loss. Turn off lifesteal. Lu Chen made a prompt decision and used Night Flash to appear beside the Tiger Flood Dragon. Tiger descends the mountain. 10 combo hits in 1 second. -940,000, double critical hit, -970,000, double critical hit, -2.21 million, triple critical hit. Without the piercing resistance, Lu Chen's damage suddenly increased by 50%. 14 million damage in 1 second. The advantage of 10 combo hits was that all of Lu Chen's passive skills were almost guaranteed to appear. Debuff, stun, silence, speed reduction, pure aura consumption. At the same time, as long as Lu Chen touched the Tiger Flood Dragon's reverse scale, after the 12% damage reduction, he would lose 1 million HP per second. However, after losing HP, according to the 4% attack speed increase for every 1% HP lost, Lu Chen's attack speed became faster and faster. A small black dot could be seen on top of the giant dragon, waving the weapon in its hand as if it had gone mad. It was getting faster and faster, crazier and crazier. 4 seconds later, Lu Chen's HP reached the bottom again. Turn on lifesteal. His HP rose slightly. Turn off lifesteal. Lu Chen's HP bar was trembling crazily at the critical point of 10%. Repeating this, Lu Chen maintained the level of 4 combo hits in 1 second, crazily attacking. Only Can Sheng and Old Ma could see the battle at the bottom of the lake. At this time, when they saw this scene, both of them widened their eyes and looked at each other in disbelief. This guy. Is he crazy? What kind of attack speed is this? What kind of damage is this? Have you ever seen such a fast attack speed? Old Ma shook his head. At least under normal circumstances, I have never seen such a fast attack. Look at him, his figure is already blurred. To be so fast to this extent, this is the limit. Kanshing took a deep breath and narrowed his eyes slightly. Previously, I heard that student number 312 was protecting the forest and hunting the old man. You said that he was an archer and fought with Yenran. You also said that he was an animal tamer, but look at him now. Infinite stun, infinite silence, speed reduction, pure aura consumption, and this insane attack speed. Damn it, if you let him get close to you, you will die. Old Ma didn't know what to say. Maybe he has 2 professions. Animal tamer and pugilist. But his HP is higher than the golden monk. This is really hard to explain. His HP is even more ridiculous than the Golden Battle Buddha, his attack speed is even crazier than the Battle Berserker, his negative status effect is even more terrifying than the Machine Fighting Master, his Battle Pet is even fiercer than the Ultimate Ferocious Beast, and his attack range is even further than the Sky-Piercing Shot. What the hell is this guy? Golden Buddha, Battle God, Machine Fighting Master, and Sky-Piercing Shot were all professions that shouldn't be at the second celestial stage. Perhaps it was the result of another change in his current profession. And his strategy is really amazing and extremely arrogant. Kanshing shook his head and sighed. Using a low-level skill to cause the tiger dragon's vision to be blurred so that he could have a chance to counterattack. This is something that I didn't expect. I was just wondering why he used the earth-splitting chasm. So this is how he used it. Blinding the tiger dragon underwater. I can't believe he thought of this. His attack speed should be the result of the combination of many skills. I don't know which skill it is, but I can see that the lower his HP, the faster his attack speed. So, he kept his HP at 10%. He would die if he touched the reverse scale twice. Old Ma nodded in agreement. This method was indeed too dangerous. A slight mistake and he would be killed by the reverse scale. Yeah, you should at least keep his HP at 20%. Kanshing sighed. That's why I said he is extremely arrogant. He is too confident in his control. Old Ma didn't agree this time. He only has 10 seconds left in his breathing tank. Now the tiger dragon has more than 400 million HP. According to the current damage, he shouldn't be able to make it. Yeah, underwater. Without the underwater seal, it is impossible for you to stun the tiger dragon infinitely. Chapter 412. There were still 10 seconds left in the breathing tank. Within 50 seconds, Lu Chen's extreme damage dealt more than 1 billion damage to the tiger dragon. If the underwater poison attack was effective, the tiger dragon would have died long ago. Unfortunately, actual combat was like this, there were no ifs. Once Lu Chen's breathing tank was used up, the tiger dragon would recover. That would be a terrifying thing. There were still 300 million left, 1/5. At that moment, the tiger dragon's body suddenly emitted a golden light, directly pushing Lu Chen back. Dragon's power protect master. The tiger dragon activated a forced passive skill. Not only did it push Lu Chen back, but it also cleared all the negative effects on its body. When Ken Sheng and Old Ma saw this scene, they were shocked speechless. Nameless was already too late, but at that moment, the tiger dragon activated a forced retreat. This was definitely adding fuel to the fire. It's over. It's over now. The tiger dragon actually has this skill, it seems to be forced to activate it when it has only 1/5 of its HP left. Sigh, it's a pity that I didn't even dare to touch it, let alone take 4/5 of its HP, this is really troublesome, the tiger dragon is awake. Lu Chen's eyes were still closed, and his eyebrows were tightly knitted. There were still 9 seconds left in the breathing tank. Just a little bit more. Earth-splitting chasm. Lu Chen quickly used the same trick again. However, the tiger dragon had already been tricked once, it would definitely not let him succeed again. The black dragon was beaten up for 50 seconds, it was burning with anger and used Heaven's Wrath. Dragon's Wrath attack, Beast Tide. The dark eye of the gods gave a warning of the skill. The entire area in front of the black dragon was marked as a warning area. Lu Chen was secretly shocked. Damn it, it was almost continuous damage across the entire map. Without even thinking, with his current HP, he would die if he touched the skill. However, Lu Chen was not willing to sacrifice his attack speed, at this point, he could not dodge it, and it was impossible to dodge it. Lu Chen clenched his teeth and activated his ultimate move in advance. Triple Door. The moment before the tiger dragon's skill was used, Lu Chen activated Triple Door and teleported himself behind the tiger dragon. However, the tiger flood dragon seemed to have predicted that Lu Chen would appear behind it, and immediately activated its second Heaven's Might skill. Dragon Aura Attack, Strangle. The tiger flood dragon's huge body moved quickly. Its reverse scales stood out like blades. After the reverse scale changed its form, the amount of water it expelled increased. As the tiger flood dragon's body rolled, it was like rows of paddles. Its rolling speed became even faster, and it created a huge amount of water. As soon as Lu Chen appeared, he was quickly pulled in by this irresistible force. As long as he was dragged to the side of the black flood dragon, he would definitely be surrounded by the surrounding reverse scales and be strangled to death. Furthermore, this was a Heavenly Wrath attack. Normal defense would be ineffective against it. Forget about his 6 million HP, even if he had 600 million HP, he would not be able to last long. The tiger dragon's skills were all very strong, and almost all of them were sure hit skills. Under such a pulling force, Lu Chen would inevitably be pulled into this huge meat grinder. 8 seconds left. Fortunately, the triple door had already sent Lu Chen into his attack range. 3,000 instantaneous slash. 11 consecutive slashes under invincibility. Every attack was a 5-hit combo. 60 million damage. Once again, he stunned and silenced, interrupting the tiger flood dragon's 2 Heaven's Might skills. 8 Baron Heaven and Earth. Heaven's Might at 1000% of full attack power. Lu Chen's physical attack was 280,000, his poison attack was 1,240,000, a total of 1,500,000. With an 80% increase in damage, it was a total of 27 million damage. The tiger flood dragon with 1.5 billion HP also lost a lot of its HP after these 2 attacks. However, this was not Lu Chen's strongest attack. Heaven and Earth Annihilation, Back Strike. Retain the flash effect, cancel 500% physical attack, change it to Tiger Descends the Mountain. 10 consecutive hits. Heaven and Earth Annihilation, Earth Shattering. Lu Chen flashed to the top of the tiger flood dragon's head and attacked fiercely. The tiger flood dragon's huge body was directly blasted to the bottom of the lake, stirring up a large amount of mud and messing up the entire tiger flood dragon lake. Heaven and Earth Annihilation, Backstrike. Heaven and Earth Annihilation, Skies Fall. This attack directly hit the tiger flood dragon from the bottom of the lake to the surface. On the shore of the tiger flood dragon lake, from the moment Lu Chen fell into the water, the students could no longer see the battle. Of course, people no longer have any illusions. The reason why they haven't left yet is that they are waiting for the final result. Do you think that madman will be hanged by an ice thorn again? It's very likely. The tiger flood dragon is cruel and takes pleasure in torturing people. I don't think it will be so easy to kill him. Yes, that guy also deliberately angered the tiger flood dragon. Maybe this time he will die even more miserably than before. Fighting with the tiger flood dragon in the water? I really don't know what he is thinking. Hearing these people's discussion, Sengoku Yenran finally couldn't help but whisper, "Enough. What qualifications do you have to laugh at him? Don't forget, he can abuse you like a game. He is now dealing with the tiger flood dragon. Don't talk about the tiger flood dragon. Who can fight the boss alone?" Yenran is still very famous in the heart refining courtyard, and what Yenran said directly hit everyone's weakness. After being reprimanded by Yenran, several people did not dare to talk back, but someone asked in a low voice. "Sister Yenran, don't you hate him very much?" Sengoku Yenran looked at the ice thorn still standing on the lake and took a deep breath. "I hate him, but when he broke free from there and did not surrender to the tiger flood dragon, he also won my respect. Not everyone can be like him, no matter what kind of opponent he faces, he will never bow his head. He is already very strong, but he is never satisfied, he is still breaking through himself. Maybe this is why he can be so strong." After hearing this, everyone fell into silence. Even if that person loses to the tiger flood dragon, so what? How many people in the heart refining courtyard can kill the tiger flood dragon? But with his unyielding character, maybe one day in the future, he can really defeat the tiger flood dragon. However, at this time, a turbid bubble suddenly appeared on the surface of the lake. The bubble burst, and there was a rotten stench. At first, the bubble was only 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then it became 5, 6, 7, or 8. A large piece of it turned up. Huh? What's going on? What's going on at the bottom of the lake? The bubble turned for a while and then stopped, but about 10 seconds later, the surface of the lake bubbled again. There is a fierce battle at the bottom of the lake. Sengoku Yenran suddenly felt nervous. It has been almost a minute since the madman fell into the water. With his blood, state, and the strength of the tiger flood dragon, killing him is just a matter of time. How can there be such a big movement? That man. Is he still struggling? By the way, that guy said he still has a life. Sure enough, he is a madman. You obviously can't win. Admit defeat, otherwise the tiger flood dragon will continue to torture you. Sengoku Yenran also couldn't bear it. Speaking of which, although that guy is overbearing, he is not really bad. I still remember in the monster beast forest, his mouth was fierce to those mythological beast cubs, but his expression was so gentle and doting. In fact, he also has a cute side, but in front of the tiger flood dragon, it is useless to struggle. Where there is life, there is hope. Why don't you admit defeat? Sengoku Yenran said anxiously. At this moment, a big bump suddenly rose on the surface of the lake. In the blink of an eye, the big bump broke, and a black shadow was directly thrown out. The huge flying ability of Skyfall directly hit the tiger flood dragon out of the water and rushed to the sky. Skyfall is also a skill of human nature. If you want to hit the sky, then you must hit the sky. It's the tiger flood dragon. Sengoku Yenran was stunned. Not only did people see the tiger flood dragon, but they also saw the tiger flood dragon's blood. 15 blood, only 260 million left at this time. This is... What happened? On the shore of the tiger flood dragon lake, a shocked face looked at the tiger flood dragon that was blown away in horror. Immediately afterward, a red figure flashed and came to the top of the tiger flood dragon's head. Are humans ants? The taste of being defeated by ants must not be good. Lu Chen's eyes glowed with green light. With an angry shout, universe annihilation annihilation. Chapter 413. One attack, 34 million heaven's wrath damage. Countless people's mouths were agape as their eyes were filled with disbelief. 34 million? What kind of damage is this? Damn, is this the true strength of that guy? Senior, didn't you say he was a beast tamer? Why is his melee damage so high? Even Kansheng and Old Ma, who were watching from the dean's office, were shocked by Lu Chen's damage. Heaven and Earth 8 Desolation was already terrifying enough, but this kid had an even higher damage Heaven's Wrath skill. No, maybe it's not because of the skill. Kansheng suddenly realized. Many advanced Heaven's Wrath skills can increase their combat power by 10 or even 20 times. The reason why his damage is so terrifying is because his own attack power is too terrifying. Old Ma frowned. Impossible, the damage of a grade 2 Heaven's Wrath skill can't exceed 20 times the total attack power. This kid dealt 34 million damage, which means his total attack power is at least 7 million. Looking at his normal attack, it does have a combo effect, but it can only deal 300,000 damage at most. He should have other types of attacks. Kansheng calculated in his mind. Although Heaven and Earth Annihilation didn't kill the tiger dragon instantly, this attack was powerful and directly impaled the tiger dragon on the extreme cold heavenly ice spike. After being impaled by the heavenly ice spike, the tiger dragon lost 25% of its remaining HP. This was interesting. The heavenly ice spike was supposed to be used to hang Lu Chen's corpse, but now it was impaled by the heavenly ice spike and couldn't break free. Roar! The tiger dragon let out a painful roar that shook heaven and earth. How dare you do this to this king? Lu Chen opened his demon wings and hovered in front of the tiger dragon, coldly looking at it. Little furball. Suddenly, a cute pet appeared in Lu Chen's hand. Seeing this guy, the players of Group 7 by the Tiger Dragon Lake were all frightened. It's that battle pet. No way, what is he going to do? Someone next to them was puzzled. What kind of pet is that? It's so cute. What's with that expression? Is that thing scary? A member of Group 7 shook his head. It's not scary, it's very scary. Trust me, you'll find out later that that guy isn't cute at all. Lu Chen looked at Little Furball and smiled. It has less than 200 million HP left. Do you know what to do now? Squeak squeak squeak. Okay, go ahead. Oh, right, eat slowly. I want him to experience the feeling of being tortured and killed, okay? Oh, squeak, K. Lu Chen casually tossed the little furball out. During the flight, the little furball's body grew bigger. By the time it reached the tiger flood dragon, it had grown to the size of a giant beast. Of course, in front of the tiger flood dragon, little furball was several sizes smaller. The furry ball grabbed the tiger dragon's tail and bit down on it, ignoring the damage from the reverse scale. With this bite, the tiger flood dragon immediately cried out in pain. At the same time, there were 3 debuffs on the tiger Jiao's body: physical damage, 1 layer, physical vulnerability, 1 layer, debuff, heavy injury, 1 layer, debuff, heavy injury, 1 layer. The first 2 debuffs didn't matter, but the most important one was heavy injury, bleeding. In 1 second, the tiger flood dragon's HP dropped by 15 million. Little Furball recovered the same amount of HP in 1 second, which was 15 million HP per second. In front of such a terrifying recovery, the damage from the reverse scale was nothing. What are you doing? Take this thing away from me. The tiger flood dragon was stabbed by the heavenly ice spike and couldn't finish it off. Looking at a large rat eating its body, it was terrified and in extreme pain. Unfortunately, Lu Qin just looked at it with a smile. Why don't you beg me? Beg? As a tiger flood dragon, it naturally wouldn't bow to Lu Qin. It turned to roar at little furball. How dare you eat me? I am the king of the monster forest. I am. I have the blood of the dragon, I have the aura of the dragon. Little furball was definitely a bug-level existence. What aura of the dragon? In front of it, the tiger flood dragon was now a grilled squid skewer. Another bite, heavy injury, bleeding, stacked 2 times, losing 30 million HP per second. The third bite, heavy injury, bleeding, lost 45 million HP, and the fourth bite lost 60 million HP. This kind of HP loss speed was simply incredible, but people no longer paid attention to the tiger flood dragon's HP. Its body had become bloody. The whole scene could only be described as bloody and cruel. Zhang Guoyanran broke out in cold sweat. Now it seemed that if this madman hadn't been merciful, the Black Dragon King would have definitely been eaten alive by that furball. Those players who just thought that little furball was just a cute pet were all trembling with fear. This thing is really not a normal horror. Cute? It does have times when it is cute, but it depends on who it is facing. If it is not its master, it is absolutely untouchable. I beg you. The tiger flood dragon roared, I beg you, don't let it eat my body again. The noble tiger flood dragon, under the crazy nibbling of little furball, finally surrendered. However, at this moment, Lu Qin did not stop little furball. I'm sorry, I just let you try, but I didn't say that I would promise you. Lu Qin snorted coldly. This was also the first time that Lu Qin let little furball eat. To be honest, he also felt his heart tremble. Yao Lao's worries were really right. This guy really was an existence beyond the rules. Tiger flood dragon was strong, but it was eaten by little furball so unscrupulously, after a few times, it died. Little furball felt that tiger flood dragon was dead, and it seemed that it had no interest in this kind of corpse, so it put down tiger flood dragon's tail, shrank its body, and jumped back to Lu Chen's hand. The little guy in Lu Chen's palm, 2 small claws wiped the blood from its mouth, and returned to its cute appearance. Didn't I tell you to eat slowly? Squeak, squeak. It can't stop eating. You little thing, that's a tiger flood dragon, almost a dragon. Your appetite is too big. Lu Qin shook his head, feeling powerless. Killed tiger Jiao dragon, monster forest map boss. Captured 50 million spiritual energy. Obtained 101st rank 8 talent fragment. Obtained 101st rank 8 evolution points. Obtained 42 pure spiritual energy. Ding. Obtained, Flood Dragon Mysterious Scale Armor, Dazzling Gold Outer Garment, Reverse Water Scale Rune Sword, Dazzling Gold Weapon, Water Avoidance Pearl, Dark Gold Treasure, Tiger Flood Dragon Core, Quest Item, Tiger Flood Dragon Scales, Dark Gold Material, Asterisk 8, Tiger Flood Dragon Serum, Dark Gold Alchemy Material, Dragon Bone, Dark Gold Material. The information about the items he obtained flooded the screen. Dazzling Gold Armor and Dazzling Gold Weapon. Oh, not bad, not bad. Wait, where's my heaven level cultivation method? Oh, maybe it's the Tiger Flood Dragon Core. Ha, I finally got a heaven level cultivation method. After saying this, Lu Chen's gaze swept over the tens of thousands of people at the lakeside. He used stealth and disappeared. Chapter 4:14. Lu Chen had already disappeared, but the onlookers by the lakeside stood still for a long time as if they had been frozen. It was only after a while that someone woke up from the shock. These super geniuses, who could only be selected from 1 in 100,000 people, were all amazed. He killed the tiger dragon. Oh my god, someone really did it. That's too fierce. 5 billion HP, and he only used 1 minute. How did he do it? What happened at the bottom of the lake? So there really is someone who can solo a boss, and it's the strongest boss of the second celestial realm. He's not human at all. Can a normal person do such a thing? This is too scary. Everyone around Gui Yanran sighed and was shocked. She herself was shocked as well. Originally, everyone thought that this guy was too arrogant, but now they knew that the mission of killing the old man and snatching the rainbow gold was too low-key for someone who could solo a tiger dragon. This guy's strength has already surpassed the second celestial realm. Not far away, a little girl in white repeated this sentence in her mind, it's him, great, I finally found you, Big Brother. Big Brother is very strong, great. After defeating the tiger dragon, Lu Chen suddenly realized a problem. He could fly in the heart refining courtyard. Perhaps it was because of the tiger flood dragon's pressure that he couldn't fly here. Since he had defeated the tiger flood dragon, this pressure was no longer qualified to restrict him. Lu Chen did not want to walk from the bottom of the lake, so he flew directly to the balcony outside the dean's room. At this time, Ken Sheng and Old Ma saw Lu Chen landing on their balcony from the crystal ball. The two of them looked at each other. No way, he flew here. Yes, maybe because he killed the tiger dragon, he has special privileges. Lu Chen looked through the window and saw the two of them looking at the crystal ball. The crystal ball can be used like this? Lu Chen was also quite surprised, but since they had already seen each other, Lu Chen directly opened the door and walked in. Dean, the tiger dragon is dead, I'm here to get the skill book. Remnant Life hurriedly put away the crystal ball. At this time, facing Lu Chen, he was a little uncertain about his position. Although he was the dean of the heart-tempering courtyard, and Lu Chen was the dean of the heart-tempering courtyard, it meant that he was Lu Chen's mentor. However, with Lu Chen's strength, he had only come to the heart-tempering courtyard for cultivation techniques, not to become a disciple. He was afraid that he did not have the qualifications to be this fellow's teacher. I really didn't expect you to really kill the tiger dragon. Old Ma shook his head and sighed. I didn't expect that I would be lucky enough to meet someone who can complete this task. Nameless, I've really underestimated you. I didn't think that someone would be able to obtain a heaven-tier cultivation technique during my tenure. Remnant Life was also somewhat excited. I've seen your battle, it's truly breathtaking. However, Lu Chen didn't feel happy at all. This time, the battle wasn't perfect. At the beginning, I was almost killed by the tiger dragon. It was such a failure. There was also the second battle with the tiger dragon. I intentionally chose to battle it in the water. On one hand, I thought of a way to deal with it. On the other hand, it was also to test my strength. However, I actually didn't manage to kill it within 60 seconds. The damage was still lacking by a bit. Hearing Lu Chen's self-blame shaking his head, Remnant Life and Old Ma were stunned and couldn't interrupt. With this performance, he still wasn't satisfied. Cough cough, don't forget that you were dealing with the tiger dragon in the water. Don't talk about killing it within 60 seconds. As long as you were able to kill it in the end, it would already be a great achievement. Yes, you can't say this outside. Otherwise, people will only think that you're too arrogant. Lu Chen smiled slightly. It doesn't matter. I'm already used to people saying this to me. Moreover, I won't be willing to say this to anyone. Alright, listening to a big shot's inner thoughts was indeed not a comfortable thing. Oh right, Dean, Old Ma, how do I exchange my reward? Nameless, come with us. This time, Remnant Life personally brought Lu Chen and Old Ma to the Cultivation Method Hall. Under normal circumstances, students would exchange for cultivation methods directly from Old Ma. They almost never had the chance to enter the Cultivation Method Hall. However, this time was obviously different from the past. The Cultivation Method Hall was located in a pagoda-like building. There were no levels inside. In the middle stood a thick pillar that went straight to the roof. This pillar was actually a bookshelf. Different cultivation methods were placed on each level. Beside the stone pillar, there were stone steps spiraling upwards along with the stone pillar. Yu Xing led Lu Chen up. When they reached the top level, it was different from the other levels. The surroundings were sealed and there was an iron door that blocked the three of them. There was no key to the iron door. On the door, there was a strange indent. Nameless, put the tiger dragon's core on it. Lu Chen took out the tiger dragon's core. After rotating it, he placed it precisely into the indent. The door slowly opened. That, Nameless, keep the tiger dragon's core first. You will need it later. You can go in by yourself. Remnant Life said, in fact, after I became the principal of the heart refining courtyard, I found out that there are actually 3 heaven-level cultivation methods sealed here. 3. Then I can get all of them if I kill the tiger dragon 2 more times. Remnant Life resisted the cold sweat on his forehead and did not slide down. This guy said he wanted to kill the tiger dragon. Was this something a human would say? That, cough cough, no, each person only has 1 chance to exchange. So, choose the most suitable one for you. You also know that heaven-level cultivation methods are heaven-defying existences at least in the 2nd layer of heaven. Lu Chen was somewhat disappointed. He hated multiple-choice questions the most. Fine, I'll just choose. When Lu Chen was about to enter the heaven-level cultivation method room, Remnant Life suddenly called out to him. Nameless. Principal, do you have any instructions? No, I have a question. Lu Chen thought for a moment and then looked at the principal, waiting for him to ask. Did you evolve your god's might underwater? The most terrifying thing about the tiger dragon is its 2nd layer dragon's might. However, I discovered that after it activated its dragon's might, which is when you fell into the water, your attributes did not decrease. The tiger dragon's might not only increased its own attributes, but it could also affect other units that were weaker than it. All of their attributes would decrease by 20%. However, Lu Chen was not affected by it during the underwater battle. Lu Chen looked at Remnant Life and Old Ma. In their eyes, he could only see the thirst for knowledge. The 2 of you have observed very carefully. I did evolve my god's might underwater. Alright, if the 2 of you have nothing else, I will go in first. Remnant Life and Old Ma naturally still had a lot of questions. However, these were all extremely private questions. The fact that he was willing to tell them that he was at the 2nd layer of heaven was already very generous. It was not convenient for them to continue asking. Alright, Nameless. I hope you can find a heaven-level cultivation method that belongs to you. Thank you. Chapter 4:15. When Lu Chen entered the room, there were 3 crystal seats in front of him, on which 3 scrolls were floating. The scrolls themselves were strange. The first one was surrounded by bolts of lightning. Every now and then, electric arcs would flash across. Thunder Jotian Art, a low-rank heaven-level skill of the Thunder family, focused on close-range combat. There were 9 moves in total. The 2nd book was engulfed in raging flames, but the scroll was not damaged in the slightest. Burning Sun and Burning Sky, a low-rank heaven-level auxiliary skill of the Fire family, focused on long-range attacks. The 3rd one was Blood Drop. Blood Essence Beast Heart, a low-rank heaven-level skill of telepathy with battle pets, focused on puppets. The 3 skills covered both long-range and close-range attacks. They were suitable for almost every class. But the problem for Lu Chen was that he didn't have a class, which also meant that he was an all-rounder. Every cultivation method was compatible with him. He didn't even need to think about the Thunder Jotian Art. Coupled with his freakish close-range attacks, it would definitely be useful. The Fire Essence Beast Heart could multiply the power of the bow and arrow. Besides, Lu Chen's long-range attacks were weaker than his close-range attacks. With the help of the Fire Essence Beast Heart, he could make up for this shortcoming. As a matter of fact, Lu Chen liked using the bow and arrow, especially considering that when his battle pets matured, it would be better for him to restrain his opponents from a distance. That being the case, the Fire Essence Beast Heart was a good choice. Lu Chen had many battle pets, not to mention the Fire Essence Beast Heart. Damn it. It's so hard to choose. Lu Chen held his forehead and frowned. Just as he was hesitating, he suddenly saw a strange stone pillar standing behind the 3 books of cultivation techniques. Huh? What's this stone for? It looks like a strength testing stone. Lu Chen walked around the 3 skills and went to the stone pillar. He touched the stone pillar and the system introduced the item. Destiny Stone. If you find it difficult to choose, you can ask the Destiny Stone to choose a suitable skill for you. The Destiny Stone will choose the best option for you based on your attributes, including but not limited to the data displayed on the interface. Usage: place both hands on the Destiny Stone and cultivate pure spirit energy at the same time. Lu Chen suddenly felt a sense of relief. It was as if there was a professional next to him who could provide him with advice when he had difficulty making a decision. After thinking about it, Lu Chen decided to listen to Stone's opinion. Lu Chen hugged the stone pillar. Big brother, help me test it. Test it carefully. I'm counting on this book to beat Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary. With that said, Lu Chen simply wrapped his legs around the stone pillar, sticking to it like a piece of plaster. It was as if the more one stuck to the stone, the more accurate the final result would be. With this monkey form, Lu Chen began to cultivate pure spiritual energy, testing Destiny Stone, Thunderclap Jotian Art, 67% compatibility. Does not meet the selection criteria. Scorching Sun Burning Sky Triple Flame Art, 42% compatibility. Does not meet the selection criteria. Blood Essence Beast Heart Art, 32% compatibility. Does not meet the selection criteria. Does not meet the selection criteria. What the fuck? Lu Chen was shocked. He originally thought that all the books were suitable for him, but the professional said that none of them were suitable for him. But in terms of compatibility, Thunderclap Jotian should be the best. Close combat books are more suitable for me. Second seal unlocked. What the hell? Lu Chen was suddenly energized. Was there another choice? Locked book. Do you accept Destiny Stone's suggestion? Lu Chen blinked his eyes. Speaking of which, the opinions of professionals should be much better than his own. Also, Destiny Stone said that it had unlocked the second seal. If Thunderclap Jotian Art was the first seal, then the second seal should be stronger. Accept. You have accepted Destiny Stone's suggestion. Destiny Stone has completed the selection for you. You can come down from Destiny Stone. Lu Chen let go of Destiny Stone. Not long after, a small black hole appeared in front of him. A book fell out, and Lu Chen caught it. This is the book you helped me choose. Let's see what it is. The book's title was, not white, green, blue, purple, orange, dark gold, or dazzling gold, but red words. This was the first time Lu Chen saw an item with red words. Divine Demon 3 Transformations, Heaven Level, Restriction, Technique Description, Divine Demon coexists, changes in heaven and earth. Heavenly Tao, passive. This technique will not be affected by the suppression effect of other techniques. Increase innate power by 50%. Reduce negative effects by 50%. Earth, passive. All elemental damage increased by 100%. Human Tao, passive. Greed, anger, infatuation. Greed, when an item is dropped, there is a 5% chance of double the drop. Anger, when rage reaches 100%, the current 4-dimensional attributes increase by 50%. Infatuation, increase the efficiency of cultivating spiritual pills by 50%. Insanity, for every 1% of health lost, increase attack speed and movement speed by 4%. Increase damage by 4%. Reduce cooldown of techniques by 1%. Stackable with other effects. When Lu Chen saw this, he immediately looked at the effects of his innate godly might and the other techniques with heavenly might. Burning godly might and defiant demonic might could increase his attributes by up to 600,000 points. At the same time, the duration of weakness and backlash was reduced to 3 days. It can actually increase the effects of innate godly might. TSK, this heaven-level technique is quite powerful. Heaven and Earth 8 Desolation increased by 15 times, Universal Annihilation increased by 75 times. If I activate it under Dragon Blood Boil, it will increase by another 80%. This is very scary. Earth increased elemental damage. Lu Qin did not have any elemental damage now, so he did not need to use it for now. However, it would probably be very useful in the future. The last one, Human Tao, added 4 passives in one go. It's a bit complicated, but it's passive anyway. I don't need to use it actively. Speaking of which, Insanity seems to be the upgraded version of Land of Death. I don't need to damage my own health. It increases attack speed, movement speed, damage, and cooldown of techniques. 3 Divine Transformations, enter divine form from human form. First transformation, current attributes of self and divine battle pets increased by 0%. All attacks changed by 0% to lightning type attacks. Current cultivation progress 0/100 hours, second transformation, unlocked. Unlocking condition, first transformation of God to 100%. Third transformation, unlocked. Unlocking condition, second transformation of God to 100%. Huh? What the hell? Increase by 0%? Lu Qin was a bit confused. When he saw the cultivation progress, Lu Qin understood that this thing needed to be cultivated. 3 Demonic Transformations, enter divine form from non-human form. First transformation, damage of self and divine battle pets increased by 0%. All attacks changed by 0% to dark type attacks. At the same time, you will be punished by the heavens and receive 0% damage. Current cultivation progress 0/100 hours, the second and third demonic transformations were also not unlocked. He also needed to level up the first 2. The first 2 passives are very strong. The active skills are a bit troublesome, but it's not bad. This kind of attribute increase, damage increase is effective regardless of whether it's close range or long range. It can also affect battle pets. It's really suitable for me. The most important thing now is to find a place to level up the first transformation. I think the damage will not be low. Thinking of this, Lu Qin left in a hurry. Chapter 4:16. After coming out, Lu Qin realized that Can Sheng and Old Ma were still waiting for him outside. Nameless, have you chosen? Lu Qin nodded. Yes, I asked the Destiny Stone to help me choose. There's a Destiny Stone inside? Can Sheng and Old Ma were surprised. Isn't that something that only Stage 3 geniuses have? Oh, that's right. A heaven-grade cultivation technique shouldn't appear in Stage 2, so it's normal to have a Destiny Stone. Lu Qin thought for a moment and said to Old Ma, Teacher Ma, can I still exchange my 1100 rainbow gold stones for cultivation techniques? Of course, you can. You defeated the Tiger Dragon, so you can save 300 rainbow gold stones. Lu Qin nodded. Then I'll choose a high-grade earth-grade cultivation technique. He fully displayed his greedy nature and definitely wouldn't waste the resources on hand. Okay. Just as Lu Qin was about to leave with Old Ma, Kenshin suddenly said, Nameless, you already obtained the strongest cultivation technique in the heart-refining courtyard. Are you going to leave in the future? Lu Qin originally came to the heart-refining courtyard to exchange for cultivation techniques. Since he could only choose one heaven-grade cultivation technique, then he probably wouldn't spend a few months to exchange for a high-grade earth-grade cultivation technique. Dean, I will probably leave after exchanging for the cultivation technique. Kan Sheng was slightly disappointed and sighed. Although the heart-refining courtyard didn't teach you anything, and I don't dare to call myself your teacher, you are still a student under my tenure. Saying this, Kenshin took out a jade pendant and handed it over. Nameless, I've investigated your information before. I know that you're from Earth, so I'm almost certain that you don't have any background. If you need help in the third heaven domain, perhaps this token can help you. Lu Chen frowned slightly. Dean, this, old Ma stared at the token in Remnant Life's hand with his eyes wide open. His mind was spinning rapidly. Seeing that Lu Chen was still hesitating, he hurriedly said, Nameless, quickly accept it. I'm almost certain that the third heaven is not what you think it is. The more friends you have, the more options you have. Besides, the Dean's token is not ordinary. Lu Chen thought about it. Although he was confident that he could continue to make his own way, old Ma was right. The more friends he had, the more options he would have. Besides, he was a person who liked to make friends. As long as the person's character was good, he was willing to have one more friend. Speaking of which, back then, the Crown Prince had also wanted to make friends with Lu Chen, but his attitude was clearly different. Kenshin did not ask for anything from Lu Chen. This was the most fundamental difference. Okay, then, thank you very much, Dean. Lu Chen took the token. At the same time, the system also gave him the item information. 2-star clan VIP token has been bound to your character. Lu Chen was not too clear on what a 2-star clan was, but a VIP should be a relatively honorable guest. It seemed that Dean Life wanted to make friends with him. Seeing Lu Chen accept the token, Kenshin smiled. Nameless, old Ma, you guys go and choose a cultivation technique. I have something to do, so I'll be leaving first. After saying goodbye to the Dean, Lu Chen followed old Ma to choose a high-grade earth tier cultivation technique. After looking around, Lu Chen chose a movement technique. Before he knew that there was a heaven tier cultivation technique, Lu Chen would have definitely chosen an offensive one. But now that he had the 3 transformations of the demonic god, Lu Chen could make up for his shortcomings. His movement technique was a bit weak now, and he was often suppressed. In the water, he was almost dragged to death by the water ghosts. He needed to upgrade it. Ghost Shadows. Seeing this name, Lu Chen felt that it was very wretched. He liked it very much. A high-grade earth tier movement technique was already very strong. The Ghost Shadows movement technique combined illusions and displacement. It had 3 layers of displacement. It was very powerful. After exchanging for the cultivation technique, old Ma looked at Lu Chen. After thinking for a while, he also took out a token. Lu Chen was speechless. Old Ma, no way, you also, hee, sigh, I can't compare to Kenshin. He's a clan elder, and I'm just a handyman. Old Ma laughed. Actually, we came to the second heaven to find talents. Although we might not be able to rope them in, at least we can become friends. At least we won't be enemies when we meet in the future. Nameless, please don't dislike it. If we really compare clans, my clan might not be worse than the Dean's. Lu Chen blinked his eyes. When other people gave gifts, they would feel embarrassed if they gave this and not that. But now, when he received gifts, he could not just accept the Dean's gift and not old Ma's. Sigh, it was hard to be a human. Then, thank you. 2-star clan, retainer token has been bound to your identity. Lu Chen kept old Ma's token. Old Ma, I also have to leave. Let's meet again. Oh, Nameless, there's one more thing you have to pay attention to. Old Ma suddenly said. Ah. What is it? I heard that someone is unhappy with you and found an expert to deal with you. You have to be careful. Lu Chen smiled. If they want to deal with me, then so be it. I'm already used to it. After speaking, Lu Chen turned and walked out of the cultivation technique hall. With his back facing old Ma, he waved his hand. Old Ma, don't always stay in the heart refinement courtyard. If there's a chance, let's meet in the third heaven. Old Ma smiled and shook his head. Speaking of which, he was old and did not have the heart to fight. However, after staying in the heart refinement courtyard for so long, especially after seeing such a young talent display his strength, he was indeed itching to fight. Speaking of which, my term of office is almost over. When the time comes, we might really meet again. Out of the cultivation technique hall, it suddenly became noisy outside. There were still many students here. When people saw Lu Chen, many people around suddenly looked at him. That madman is out. Did he change his heaven-level cultivation technique? Wow, heaven-level cultivation technique. My God, I'm so envious. Isn't that strong? This guy shouldn't have gone to the heavenly domain boss, right? What kind of heaven-level cultivation technique did he change? I really want to see it. At this moment, a beautiful figure walked in front of Lu Chen. Hey, are you leaving the heart refinement courtyard? I haven't defeated you yet. Lu Chen frowned and looked at Zhang Guiyanran. Does this woman have to be so persistent? Well, I'm leaving. There's nothing I need here. Zhang Guiyanran's expression was stagnant. It seemed that she was nothing in this guy's eyes. Also, she said that she wanted to defeat Lu Chen, but the strength between the two of them, at present, she still needed to work harder to make up for it. Then, can you give me your voice transmission talisman? In the future, when I challenge you, I won't be unable to find you. When Yan Ran said this, her voice was a little small, and she didn't look very confident. This feeling, it was like a girl taking the initiative to ask a boy for his phone. Just add me as a friend. Lu Chen sent a friend request. Oh, right. Lu Chen suddenly thought of something. I still have some gems, do you need them? Lu Chen only knew Yan Ran in the heart refinement courtyard, so he gave the remaining 100 colored gold gems to Yan Ran. But Yan Ran refused. This is colored gold gems. This is too expensive, I can't accept it. You really are a madman. If you put these gems on the trading area of the Galaxy's official website, you can exchange them for a lot of equipment. This thing will be bought almost as soon as it appears. Lu Chen thought about it, so it can be like this. Yan Ran looked like a lady from a big family. She said it was expensive but refused to accept it. She didn't like to take small advantages. Then he would give it to Lu Yi and the others. However, Lu Chen's actions did make Zhang Guiyanran have a deeper impression of Lu Chen. Hey, madman, third heavenly layer, I will definitely catch up with you. Lu Chen smiled slightly, come on. After 2 months in the heart refinement courtyard, Lu Chen looked around, no longer reluctant, spread his wings and flew into the sky. Chapter 4:17. Looking at the red figure in the sky, Kenshin opened the office door and shook his head. Flying in the heart refinement courtyard, even I don't have the authority to do that, kid, level 3, we'll meet again. As Kenshin lowered his head and was about to return to his room, he saw a girl in the crowd downstairs with a faint white light around her. The layer of white light was very thin and could not be seen clearly. Only when one had a good view from afar could they tell that there was a slight difference between the air around her and the surroundings. Kenshin stopped and frowned. It's the North Snow family's celestial trace. That little girl planted a celestial trace talisman on Nameless. Someone from the North Snow family came to the heart refinement courtyard? Why does she have Nameless whereabouts? Lu Chen directly flew back to the Spirit Condensation Mountain range. He could cultivate the Heaven Tier cultivation technique here. Moreover, his army had been built for a long time. After being delayed in the heart refinement courtyard for so long, Lu Chen did not have the time to come and take a look. At that moment, in the uninhabited Spirit Condensation Mountain range, the construction of a small territory had been completed. 10 tigers, 8 heads, 3 idiots, and a group of army subordinates were training their spiritual power under the guidance of 2 mountains. When he checked the 3 stage 4 spiritual sources in the territory, Lu Chen found that there was a buff beside the spiritual sources avatars. Abundant spiritual energy. When the surrounding spiritual energy is abundant, the spiritual sources will automatically absorb the surrounding pure spiritual energy. At the same time, when training beside the spiritual sources, the training speed will increase by 200%. Damn! Lu Chen's eyes widened. He did not expect that building a territory in the Spirit Condensation Mountain Range would have such a benefit. Currently, a few of the spiritual sources had been upgraded to Stage 4, Level 3, which was absorbed by them. I'm rich, I'm rich. This is indeed a treasure land. Now that the army was built, Lu Chen could continue to increase the strength of the army in the future. In addition, Lu Chen's personal dungeon was also completed. He spent some gold coins to upgrade the dungeon to level 55 and placed it on the side of the Spirit Condensation Mountain Range near Nya Yuan village. When the dungeon reached level 50, the cost increased by 100 times to 1 million gold coins. However, Lu Chen had 200 million yuan on him now, so 1 million yuan was a piece of cake for him. Let's set the dungeon's difficulty to the lowest. I can post it on the forums and let the Earth players train here. They have levels and equipment, and I can earn more money. After that was done, Lu Chen released Xiao Min, the baby divine beast, Rhubarb, the furball, and Xiao Yuan, and let them play by themselves. Little furball, these. He couldn't eat any of them. Do you understand? Lu Chen paid special attention to the smallest one among them. He had no choice. If this guy didn't remind him, by the time Lu Chen finished his cultivation, there would be no one else here. Little furball nodded obediently. He still had to listen to his boss. If you're really hungry, let big sister Xiao Min, Rhubarb, and little Yuan take you to Dragon War Field. But don't go too far. I'll be cultivating in the mountains. Erzhan and the rest of you, if you want to level up, let little Yuan and little furball take you to our personal dungeon. You won't be able to use it that many times anyway. After everything was settled, Lu Chen logged onto the official website and announced the opening of his personal dungeon. Then, he found a comfortable lawn and prepared to cultivate the 3 transformations of gods and demons. On Earth's Jotian official website, someone quickly discovered Mad God's post. Mad God's post immediately caused an uproar around the world. Huh? Mad God posted. Mad God is still here. What? Mad God's personal dungeon is open again. The difficulty is currently at its lowest. That's great. We can farm the dungeon now. Mad God's personal dungeon gives a lot of EXP. There's hope for us to level up. Now, we finally have a way to close the gap between us and the second celestial stage players. Lu Chen had just entered his cultivation state when Li Muhua called. Chen. Your personal dungeon is still here. Li Muhua was very excited on the phone. Yes, why not? That's great. That's great. I knew you wouldn't be depressed just like that. Lu Chen was a little confused. By the way, Chen, the Earth Alliance wants to discuss with you. What's the limit of your personal dungeon? After breaking through to level 50, the daily limit of the dungeon increased from 100,000 to 500,000. 500,000, what's wrong? Well, the Earth Alliance wants to contract 300,000 times. You know, the starting point of the players on Earth is too low. Even if it's much better now, we're still very weak. Leveling up is very important. We plan to maximize the value of the personal dungeon so that the strongest players can level up quickly. That can't be helped. Everyone can only attempt it 3 times at most. I can't change that. I know. What I mean is, can you open 300,000 times to the Earth Alliance? You know, once the dungeon is opened, there will be a sea of people. We may not be able to get a chance. Lu Chen thought about it. The Earth Alliance's role was obvious. Their overall arrangement would definitely be more efficient than everyone fighting for the dungeon. Most importantly, it didn't matter to Lu Chen who went to challenge it. He would give the gold coins and the money he should give. What the higher-ups mean is, if you can let us contract 300,000 times, we'll pay you an extra $1 million per day. The level 55 dungeon fee adhered to the Jyotian philosophy of free of charge. Although there was a fee, each 10-person team could only charge $55 per attempt. On average, each person would only charge $5. But even so, if there were about 170,000 times of the dungeon fee, the daily income of the dungeon would still reach a terrifying 35 million. With the additional 1 million, Lu Chen's daily income would exceed 10 million. Okay, I'll open a separate entrance for you. You can use the dynamic password to enter. The dynamic password generation system will be directly controlled by you. Okay, thanks. I'll go talk to the higher-ups now. After hanging up, Lu Chen finally breathed a sigh of relief. Now he could cultivate in peace. 100 hours, which was a little more than 4 days. Anyway, he could sleep while cultivating. Lu Chen decided to cultivate the first transformation of celestial demons as soon as possible within 10 days. 10 days. Forget it. For the sake of the celestial level skill, I'll cultivate. Jyotian had passed since Lunatic left the Purified Heart Courtyard. The atmosphere of the Purified Heart Courtyard had returned to normal. Cooperation and competition coexisted, especially for the Rainbow Gold missions. The big teams could finally accept the 5 Rainbow Gold missions that had been monopolized. In the monster forest, a small team was tracking a huge cunning wolf. The cunning wolf's damage was high, but its crowd control was low. It was a relatively easy boss to kill among the 10 Rainbow Gold missions. There were many exotic beasts around the cunning wolf. Now was not the best time to attack. The team was still in ambush. Strange, Hunter Emperor has been out for more than a month. Why hasn't he returned yet? That guy found someone to kill Lunatic. Lunatic has already left the Purified Heart Courtyard, but he still hasn't returned. He said that he's looking for his master. I heard him say that his master seems to have gone to the 3rd heaven. He can't be calling his master back from the 3rd heaven, right? Really? Damn, I thought that Nameless was invincible when he got the celestial level skill. But now, maybe we still have a chance to kill him. We must kill that guy and destroy his prestige. Damn it, I'm angry when I see my goddess talking to him. If we want to kill him, we must kill him quickly. I heard that the celestial level skill can't be learned in one go. Kill him before he learns it. Then, he won't be able to learn it even if he has it. At the same time, in Niayuan village. At this time, Hunter Emperor was walking in the village with a middle-aged man. Xiao Lai, how far is Earth Village? Master, it's just a map in front. The man put his hands behind his back and sneered, a battle pet that can only defeat the young black flame dragon emperor. Hehe, Xiao Lai, don't lie to me. Master, I don't dare to lie to you. He really has it. Okay, let's go. Chapter 418. Just as the Hunter Emperor was leading his master toward the Earth Village map, a large group of players walked toward them. Ha, we can finally enter Niayuan Village. We are the second batch to officially enter Niayuan Village, right? Yes, the first batch of people, especially Wild Wave and the others, have all gone to Free City. Niayuan Village is actually the real level 2 map. Our Earth Village can only be considered as a preschool at most. Stop complaining. It's already good that we can adapt to this difficulty level in 2 months. Now, the strength of our Earth players has finally become stronger. Isn't the slogan of the Earth Alliance to cultivate more nameless mad gods? This is an opportunity for all of us. Everyone, develop well and don't let others bully us anymore. The middle-aged man lifted his chin slightly, narrowed his eyes, and glanced at the group. Xiao Lai, are they from Earth? Master, they have been talking about the Earth village. They should be the Earth players. The man nodded slightly. The next second, he suddenly moved and instantly appeared in front of the group, blocking the path of the leader. The leader was a representative of the British military, ID Duke Steel Knight. At this time, he suddenly realized that someone had appeared in front of him inexplicably. He was also stunned. That person had his hands behind his back with an arrogant expression. It seemed that he had no intention of giving way. Steel Knight immediately raised his hand and motioned for the group to stop. His expression was solemn. The strength of the Earth players was indeed strong. However, anyone with half a brain knew how dangerous it was in the level 2. They were definitely not a strong force in the level 2. The decision-makers of the Earth Alliance had already said that when they left the Earth village, they must keep a low profile and not cause trouble. They must first develop wretchedly. It was not easy for a group of tens of thousands of people to stop. Fortunately, there were many military players to help control the group. The group finally stopped. Duke. A Hua Xia officer also realized that they seemed to have encountered a problem. Xia, I will go and communicate with them first. You calm the others. Okay, leave it to me. However, before the Duke could step forward, the other party spoke first. You are from Earth? The Duke said, Yes, sir. What can I do for you? The man snorted disdainfully. He swept his gaze across the crowd and shook his head. What kind of trash are these? There are indeed a lot of parasites in the Jotian. There are so many people and so many resources wasted. They really should be wiped out. The expressions of many Earth players in the front row changed slightly. The Duke spoke quickly to prevent anyone from losing control of their emotions. Sir, we're just ordinary players. That person didn't listen to the Duke at all. Instead, he shot out a sword aura without warning. The sword aura transformed into a sword aura that was dozens of meters long. It instantly pierced through the formation of the Earth's players. In the blink of an eye, the 30-meter-wide straight line in the middle of the tens of thousands of soldiers was filled with corpses. There were also 2 debuffs on the corpse. Debuff, forced full sense of pain. When killed, full sense of pain will be activated. Debuff, soul break. Respawn time extended by 12 hours. Players will not be able to respawn within 12 hours. Duke Steel Knight, the various adjutants, and the regiment commander all looked behind them in shock. Their eyes were filled with shock, followed by anger. The man didn't seem to care about their anger. His expression was indifferent. I've already said that trash like you should be killed immediately so that you don't have to fight for resources with others. We didn't provoke you. Why do you want to kill us? There's no reason. It's just that. I want to kill you. The man smiled slightly. Then, a long sword slowly rose from his back. Not only do I want to kill all of you, but I also want to kill all 3 billion of you. Until your strongest person is willing to come out and be ravaged by me. 3 sword transformations. In the blink of an eye, the long sword behind the man transformed into 3 illusions. Then, the 3 illusions became extremely huge. They directly swept through the entire army from behind the Duke. When Duke Steel Knight turned around, he was already scared out of his wits. Behind him, there were corpses everywhere. 57,444 people. 57443 people had been killed. He was the only one who survived. What kind of horrifying technique was this? Killing close to 60,000 people in an instant? The speed was so fast that none of the second batch of strong people who rushed out of the Earth village had time to dodge or react. They were directly killed. Sigh, killing these trash really dirties my sword. Do you know why I didn't kill you? The man's voice was low and lazy. Pass my words to Nameless. Tell him that there's a price to pay for his arrogance. I'm tired today. Tomorrow, I'll slaughter all 3 billion of your people. Unless. The man smiled slightly. His fairy-like smile, coupled with his handsome face, gave off a creepy feeling. He has the ability to stop me. Remember, only Nameless can stop me. If he doesn't come, or if you find some random cat or dog, I have 100 ways to flatten your Earth village. Hunter Emperor looked at the scene in shock. Master's strength increased again. The damage that was dodged just now was 880,000. That was an AoE skill. With such a large area and such a good effect, how could the damage reach 880,000? This was not something that could be done by a human. Could this be the strength of a Tier 3 realm? Moreover, Master had only casually swung his sword. It was obviously impossible for Master to use his strongest move against these small fries. That's great. Hunter Emperor's eyes were bloodshot. If Nameless doesn't come out, he'll be cursed by billions of people. By then, even if he knows that he can't win, he can't run. Ha ha ha, this is the most interesting part. Let him be killed in front of his people. If he loses his dignity in the game, he won't be able to raise his head outside the game. Master is indeed master. Not only does he kill people, but he also kills their hearts. Steel Knight Duke returned to Earth Village and reported what happened to him to the Earth Alliance. You said that person killed tens of thousands of people in one hit? That's our elite team. They should have more than 700,000 HP per person. Steel Knight Duke's face darkened as he endured the pain. It was indeed a one-hit kill. He purposely left me alive because... As the leader, it was humiliating for a warrior to be the only one alive. Steel Knight Duke's eyes were bloodshot as he endured the pain. Because, he wanted me to tell Nameless that he will come tomorrow and slaughter all 3 billion people on Earth unless Nameless can stop him. What? Is this guy a psychopath? Even if he had a personal dispute with Nameless, why does he want to slaughter all the players on Earth? Doesn't he know that it's not his family's fault? But Nameless has fallen. The only one who can stop him now is Mad God. Mad God has no obligation to us. Will he come? Steel Knight Duke shook his head and said, everyone, that person said that only Nameless can stop him. If it's anyone else, he will most likely use other methods to wipe out Earth Village. This. Nameless is now at the first level of heaven. How can he stop him? I think he wants to kill Nameless. Steel Knight Duke frowned. He knew that Lu Chen had been beaten back to the first level of heaven. That meant that Nameless and Mad God were no longer there. If that was the case, then there was no way to avoid this calamity. An enemy like that was beyond their understanding. It was far beyond the strength of all the masters they knew. He could take tens of thousands of lives with a raise of his hand. 3 billion people was probably just a number to him. Chapter 419. Spirit Condensation Mountain Range. After 9 days of cultivation, Lu Chen had already completed the first transformation of Divine and Demon. Now, the two skills finally displayed their complete attributes. Divine Transformation, current attributes of Self and Divine Pets are increased by 150%. All attacks are 100% converted to Lightning-type attacks, controllable ratio. Duration, 180 seconds. Cooldown, 24 hours. Demon Transformation, all types of damage of Self and Divine Pets are increased by 300%. All attacks are 100% converted to Dark-type attacks, controllable ratio. At the same time, you will be punished by the heavens and receive 5% of your maximum health every second. The strength of the Divine Transformation was that the attribute increase was not the increase of the basic attributes but the current attributes. This was different from most of the techniques that Lu Chen had that added attributes. The Divine Transformation even improved the effects of equipment and techniques. The weakness was that the duration was too short. 3 minutes for a man would be weak for an entire day. Compared to the divine transformation, the demon transformation was more violent. Direct attacks were increased by 300%. However, there was a price to pay for gaining power. Losing 5% of one's maximum health every second was also terrifying. According to Lu Chen's peak health, he had 6.5 million health points. Before the battle even started, he was losing 320,000 health points every second. Just thinking about it was terrifying. There's another advantage of converting it to elemental damage. I can enjoy the damage bonus of Earth. Also, I'm not afraid of losing health points. I have life steal. After losing health, I can activate the frenzy effect of humanity. Well, a heaven-level technique is indeed a heaven-level technique. This damage is too explosive. The training time for the second transformation was 1,000 hours. Lu Chen decided to forget about it. He would level up first. At this moment, Lu Yi called. On the phone, Lu Yi seemed to have something to say but stopped. She was completely different from her usual carefree self. Brother. Yes, what is it? Are you hungry? No. Brother, where are you now? In the game. I'm training deep in the mountains. Sigh, I haven't seen anyone for a few days. I'm planning to go out. Lu Yi's heart ached. There were no deep mountains or forests in the second heaven. After more than 2 months of adaptation, the players had already adapted to the difficulty of the second heaven. From the level 80 main cities to the novice villages of the major worlds, even the arena that no one went to before, the Azura arena was full of people. After nearly 3 months of struggle in the second heaven, the players were resurrected. If there wasn't anyone here, then it could only be the first heaven. Most of the players from Earth had already reached level 2, and the newcomers to the game were also those who didn't know how to play normally. An expert like Brother was indeed very lonely. Brother, I'll go find you. Looking for me? You're not leveling anymore. What's wrong? Did someone bully you? Lu Yi felt even sadder. Even though her brother had been beaten back to the first heaven, she still wouldn't allow anyone to bully her. No. I just miss you. Silly girl, I'm not next door. Lu Chen was confused. What was wrong with Lu Yi today? Lu Chen pondered for a moment. Something was wrong with his sister today. He exited the game and went out to look for Lu Yi. Lu Yi's gaming cabin was pink. At this moment, she was lying inside. Through the glass cabin door, Lu Chen saw that this girl was actually crying. After knocking on the cabin door, Lu Yi realized that her brother had come in person. She took off the device. As soon as they came out of the gaming cabin, Lu Yi did not say anything. She hugged her brother, feeling wronged. Brother, silly girl, what's wrong? What's wrong? Tell me. Brother, it's nothing. I'm just sad. After all, Lu Yi had grown up with Lu Chen. Both of them had gone through the toughest days. She could also see Lu Chen's unyielding character in her. No matter what Lu Chen asked, this girl would not say anything. Brother, you can go back. I'm really fine. Are you sure you didn't fall out of love? Lu Yi was amused by Lu Chen's sudden question. She laughed through her tears. You're the one who fell out of love. I haven't fallen in love yet. How can I fall out of love? Go, go, go. Go level up. I know you'll definitely come back. Lu Yi pushed her brother out of the door. Lu Chen also knew that he would not be able to get anything out of her. Fatty, if there's anything you want to tell me, do you understand? It's really nothing. You can go. Lu Chen returned to his room helplessly. However, judging from his sister's appearance, it was obvious that something was wrong. After thinking about it, he was still worried and called Li Muhua. Chen, you actually took the initiative to call me. You. Do you know something? Know what? Oh, it's nothing. Why are you looking for me? Has my sister gone out recently? Li Muhua and the others were responsible for ensuring the safety of Lu Chen and his sister. They did not know what happened in the house, but they definitely knew when they left the neighborhood. Or did anyone come to our house? Lu Yi. She's a leveling maniac. She only went out to buy breakfast with you a few times. She trained in the yard every day and never left the neighborhood. Strangers? Just that little black leather you brought back last time. No one else came. Lu Chen frowned. What little black leather? That's my childhood friend, Luo Yu. Okay, I got it. Hey, Chen. You. On the other side of the phone, Li Muhua sighed softly. It's fine. After hanging up the phone, Lu Chen felt that something was wrong. It felt like they were hiding something from him. What the hell? That Li Muhua guy can't be pursuing my sister, right? It seemed like this was the only possibility for these two guys to have the same attitude. Thinking about it, Li Muhua was actually not bad. He was a soldier and a small official at such a young age. As for his looks, he was more handsome than Luo Yu. Although he was sometimes a little cheap, he definitely had the demeanor of a soldier when he was serious. Most importantly, this guy could fight. Last time, he took down a few security guards by himself. Lu Chen was stunned at that time. Strange, there's no need to hide dating from me. Forget it, I'll think about it tomorrow. After cultivating the transformation of gods and demons, Lu Chen could finally sleep on his own bed. The night passed. The next morning, Lu Chen went grocery shopping and trained as usual. However, Lu Yi went online early and did not accompany him. You're online so early today. Lu Chen did not care about her. He left breakfast in Lu Yi's room and returned to his room. After thinking about it, Lu Chen still felt that Lu Yi was not normal. Did something happen in the game? Lu Chen thought of this possibility. Let's go to the official website and have a look. As soon as he went to the official website, Lu Chen saw a bunch of strange posts. Nameless has fallen, but if you want to kill Nameless, please step over my dead body. Nameless has fought for us too many times. This time, it's our turn to fight for him. The Earth Alliance told us not to go online tomorrow, but they underestimated us. We are not cowards. If you want to kill Nameless, you can't even do it. At 6:00 tomorrow morning, please go online as soon as possible. Protect the Earth for 5 billion years and protect the nameless Hua Xia God of War. Chapter 420. Fallen. Lu Chen scrolled forward. Fortunately, there were too many posts about him, so it was not difficult to find them. After taking a general look at several posts, Lu Chen finally understood. During the battle in the Fairy Trail Forest, the level 2 players told the Earth players that Nameless would be directly knocked back to level 1 under such an attack. In addition, Lu Chen did not appear for several months, so people were almost certain that he was dead. No wonder Lu Yi and the others spoke strangely at that time. They were afraid of hurting my self-esteem. Now there was a super strong person outside the Earth village calling for a fight. He named Nameless to accept the challenge, or else he would slaughter the 3 billion players in the Earth village. In the hearts of the Earth players, Nameless had fallen. Perhaps he was now leveling up somewhere in the level 1 heaven. Naturally, it was impossible for him to accept the challenge, so this battle was inevitable. Because the opponent was too strong, the Earth Alliance advised players not to go online. However, the Earth players did not intend to be cowards. A large number of similar posts appeared on the forum. Protect my Earth for 5 billion years, protect my Hua Xia God of War, Nameless. At this point, the reason for Lu Yi and Li Muhua's abnormal behavior had been found. They wanted to fight for Lu Chen, but they could not tell Lu Chen. They had almost no chance of winning this battle, so they would miss the God of War who protected them. Under such contradictory feelings, they hesitated to speak. Lu Chen hurriedly looked at the time. It was already 7:30 in the morning, only half an hour before the appointed time. Lu Chen narrowed his eyes slightly. If you want to find me, then find me. Go slaughter the Earth players, can you be any more shameless? Time was tight, and Lu Chen did not have time to say hello to Lu Yi. He went online directly. A moment later, Lu Chen appeared in the Spirit Condensation Mountain Range. He merged the attributes of the Wishful Staff into the Reverse Water Scale Sword, and the Devil's Robe into the Black Scale Armor. After the attribute transfer, the effect of the Devil's Suit was not affected, but there were a few more Black Scale Armor special effects, and the entire appearance had changed. He wore the Dragon Scale Armor and the Reverse Water Scale Sword. He changed into his favorite red outfit, the Blood God's Sword Maniac, and turned into a red light, shooting out of the Spirit Condensation Mountain Range. After leaving the Soul Condensation Mountain Range, Lu Chen shouted, 9 wings. A 9-winged azure dragon let out a roar and spread its wings. It flapped its wings and soared into the sky. Lu Chen landed steadily on the dragon's head. Global Village. Outside the Global Village, the Earth players now had a glimmer of hope. At this moment, there were 4 people playing chess with the Hunter Emperor and the Super Expert. The Hunter Emperor crossed his arms in front of his chest and looked at the 4 people in front of him. He coldly snorted, "People from the Wood Mansion. This matter has nothing to do with you, right? I advise you not to get involved in this mess. Do you know my master's identity? Even if you're from the Wood Clan, according to what I know, the elders of the Wood Clan won't interfere when you're training, right?" Xiao Tian's gaze was not locked onto the Hunter Emperor. The Hunter Emperor was indeed very strong, but compared to the person standing behind him, he was on a completely different level. "Senior Green Wolf, it doesn't seem right for you to cross the Heaven Domain and attack him." Green Wolf was the Hunter Emperor's master. The Super Expert who came from the upper heaven. "Rules?" Green Wolf laughed in disdain, "Aren't rules meant to be broken? But you have a grudge with the Nameless. You shouldn't vent your anger on the people of Earth." Wan Er angrily said. Green Wolf coldly sneered, "When I, Green Wolf, do things, there's no such thing as should or shouldn't. It's only about whether I'm happy or not. Speaking of which, are the 4 of you tired of living? How dare you block my path? Strange. According to what I know, the newcomers of the Wood Clan are always in groups of 5. Why are there only 4 of you? Where's the last one?" Green Wolf rubbed his chin and pondered for a moment. "Oh, right. I remember now. 1 person in each group has the Wood Clan's treasure. Let me guess, that treasure should be with the remaining person." Xiao Tian took a deep breath. This guy hit the nail on the head. That's right, Jiu Er wasn't here. When they received news that a strong enemy had invaded the Global Village, they were prepared to come and help. However, when they arrived, they realized that the people who came were not ordinary. If it was just the Hunter Emperor, they might be able to work together to deal with him. However, Green Wolf was the Hunter Emperor's master, someone from the 3rd heaven. However, since they were here, no matter what the result was, they would definitely help. However, in order to protect the Wood Clan's treasure, Xiao Tian ordered Jiu Er to hide in the dark. If the Wood Clan's treasure was lost, then their training would be a complete failure. It would be even harder for Jiu Er to stand out in the future. They could not afford to lose this treasure. In the end, everything was within Green Wolf's expectations. "I believe that he should be nearby. Don't worry, I can easily find him in the 2nd heaven." Green Wolf smiled, "How interesting. The other people from the Wood Clan are all as low-key as possible. You guys are good, sending yourself to me. If I don't accept this gift, then I would be letting you guys down." Even someone as calm as Xiao Tian could not help but feel flustered. Someone from the 3rd heaven in the 2nd heaven was a transcendent existence. Green Wolf did not know about them before, but now that he knew, it would not be difficult for him to find Jiu Er. Big brother. Ba Men looked at Xiao Tian. We have no way out. Since we chose to help them, then we must be prepared to accept any consequences. Xiao Tian said firmly. Yes. Big brother is right. So what if we fail the training? So what if we are laughed at by our family? I don't want to be a person who goes back on his words. Ba Men nodded. Okay, I heard from my family that someone from the direct line can challenge those of a higher rank. Let's try it today. Hunter Emperor looked at the four and smiled. Actually, with your current strength, my master doesn't even have to do anything. I can take care of you. Hunter Emperor was also a student of the Heart Tempering Academy and ranked in the top 10 of the arena. His strength was not to be underestimated. Master, let your disciple handle these four. Green Wolf smiled. Okay, go. I will go and kill that bunch of trash. With that said, Green Wolf flashed and appeared in front of the Endless Earth Army. Stop him. Xiao Tian shouted in a low voice. Stop my master. Hunter Emperor snorted. Are you four deaf? Your opponent is me. Beast, Black Lock. Beast, Nine-Tailed Fox. Beast, Sky-Swallowing Roar. All of a sudden, 3 battle pets appeared in front of the Hunter Emperor. All 3 of them were rare beasts with a high growth rate. They were all young beasts. Even Sengoku Yenran only had 1 young dragon emperor, which was enough for her to rank in the top 20 of the Heart Tempering Academy. Hunter Emperor's 3 super beasts were not weak. No wonder he could rank in the top 10 of the Heart Tempering Academy. He is a beast tamer. Xiao Tian pulled a long face. Beast tamers and puppeteers would not be at a disadvantage in a one-on-one fight. Who told you that I am a beast tamer? Hunter Emperor smiled. Have you never heard of dual classes? Buddha Lotus Golden Body. The 4 from the Wood Mansion stared with their eyes wide open. This guy was a combination of a beast tamer and a close combat monk. In terms of level, equipment, skills, and battle pets, Hunter Emperor was powerful. The 4 from the Wood Mansion were not at a high level. They had to try their best when facing Hunter Emperor from the Heart Tempering Academy. Chapter 421. Hunter Emperor led 3 beasts and successfully restrained the 4 from the Wood Mansion. At this time, Green Wolf slowly walked to the front of the Earth players. Facing the innumerable number of Earth players, he raised his chin slightly with an arrogant expression. Where's Nameless? Nameless. Come out if you have the guts. Are you scared? Don't you dare to come. So, he's going to hide behind you trash and struggle to survive? Sigh, a trash place produces trash. I thought he was strong, but he's just a coward. What's wrong? Fine, there's no need for people like you to continue wasting resources. I'll slaughter your Earth village and there will be no more Earth village, no more Nameless. At this time, a 13 or 14-year-old boy walked out from the crowd. His ID was hidden. The boy shouted, You're looking for Nameless? That's me. Green Wolf looked at the boy in surprise. He's Nameless? Obviously not. Ha ha ha, you're Nameless. You're not even fully grown yet. Do you think I'm as stupid as you, not even knowing who Nameless is? Little bastard, you want to be a hero? I'll make you regret it later. Green Wolf raised his hand slightly and was about to attack. However, at this time, another person stood in front of the boy. They also did not show their ID. Old dog, I'm Nameless. What kind of hero are you to bully a kid? I don't think you're fit to be a human. If you want to kill me, I'm Nameless. Aren't you looking for Nameless? I'm him. I am. Me too. A large group of people suddenly stood out, all of them hiding their IDs. Green Wolf frowned slightly. He did not expect things to turn out like this. After all, he had never seen Nameless in person. When he turned around to look at Hunter Emperor, he realized that Hunter Emperor was fighting with the four from the Wood Mansion. Although he had the upper hand, it was not easy. Qing Lang waved his hand and sent out a sword chi. Xiao Tian was quick to react and hastily retreated. Xiao Lai, who is nameless? Master, none of them are. That guy is wearing a red dress. These are all trash. Just kill them. Yeah, we're here to kill Nameless anyway. It doesn't matter how many we kill. Green Wolf ignored Hunter Emperor and turned to look at the Earth players. So, all of you are courting death. At this moment, Li Muhua of the Iron and Blood Country also stood out. Hey, you pervert, you're really interesting. You said that you wouldn't make a move as long as Nameless came out. Now that Nameless has come out, you still want to make a move. It only shows that you're an untrustworthy man. No matter how strong you are, you can't change the fact that you're just a piece of trash. Green Wolf's gaze turned vicious. What a joke. You guys aren't Nameless at all. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood also walked over. Nameless? Nameless means nameless. We don't have a name, so we're nameless. Why aren't we nameless? That's right. You're strong, and we don't care if you're willing to kill the innocent. However, you can't invert right and wrong. We're nameless. That's right. It doesn't matter if you kill us. In the future, everyone will know that you're a despicable person who spouts nonsense. Whether it was killing the innocent or helping others, many vicious people were people who kept their word. This was very important for their future development in the Jotian. Who would be willing to make a deal with someone who didn't keep his word? Who would be willing to cooperate with him? This was especially true after Xiao Tian called out the name Green Wolf. What a joke. You think you can stop me with this little trick? You guys are the ones who invert right and wrong. Even if this matter spreads out, no one will say anything. Green Wolf was worthy of being called a super expert. He was calm in the face of chaos. You want to use this method to threaten me? I'm sorry, but I'll kill as many Nameless as you guys have. After killing all of you, I'll kill the old, the weak, the women, and the children as well. I won't let anyone go. In the crowd, a beautiful woman couldn't take it anymore. Green Wolf, don't think that you can do whatever you want just because you're at level 2. Hearing this voice, Xiao Tian and the others' hearts sank. It was Zhou Er. That silly girl couldn't hold back in the end. As long as she used the Wood Residence's technique, Green Wolf might recognize her. Xiao Tian had clearly warned Zhou Er to keep her cool and not reveal herself. In the end, Zhou Er couldn't care less and stood out resolutely. I'm sorry, but I can do whatever I want. So many of you want to die. I'll fulfill your wish. After speaking, Green Wolf revealed a sinister smile. Today, none of you can escape. The 3 swords on his back slowly flew out. Green Wolf formed a sword seal and smiled. Next, I'll let you see how big the gap is between you and me. Killing 3 billion people. Ha ha ha, it'll definitely feel good. The first sword had already pierced through the air and shot towards the crowd. With this sword, who knew how many Earth players would die, Li Muhua glared and rushed towards the flying sword. Dong Huang Bell. Get out of the way. You want to block my sword? Dream on. Taking the main damage will make you wish you were dead. I can't wait to see you wailing in pain. Li Muhua's body glowed with a golden Buddhist seal, and a large cauldron appeared. At this moment, he couldn't care less about the warning that the pain system had been forcefully activated. Even in the game, a soldier had to stand in front of the civilians. This was his duty. Green Wolf felt that it was too interesting that a second-level heaven trash wanted to block his sword. No, he couldn't kill him so easily. Sanqing Sword Art, 1 becomes 10,000. That rapidly flying sword energy suddenly split into countless thin needles and shot towards Li Muhua. One sword energy split into tens of thousands, and the damage was also split. This way, it wouldn't be so easy to kill that guy. Li Muhua's nose flared, but he remained unmoved. Come on, old dog. If I snort, I'm not a man. Countless thin needles swept past, and the so-called Donghuang bell was instantly riddled with holes. In an instant, Li Muhua's body was pierced with countless holes, and his whole body was covered in blood. His HP bar didn't return to 0, but was only left with a few hundred HP. With Green Wolf's strength, killing Li Muhua would be a piece of cake. However, he didn't manage to kill Li Muhua. If he wanted to kill, it wouldn't be fun to kill so easily. The most terrifying thing was that although it was only an instant of damage, Li Muhua suffered tens of thousands of attacks. This kind of pain covered almost every part of his body, every cell. It was unimaginable. Even so, Li Muhua still didn't make a sound. He was bleeding from all 7 orifices, and his whole body was trembling as he stood there, covered in blood. Boss. Li Muhua's underlings wanted to rush over. Don't come over. I haven't lost yet. Li Muhua shouted angrily. Green Wolf shook his head regretfully. I'm sorry that I didn't manage to kill you the first time. I didn't expect you to be such a tough nut to crack. You didn't even cry out. Alright, let's do it again. Green Wolf moved his sword finger, and the tens of thousands of silver needles flew back towards Li Muhua again. This time, Li Muhua didn't activate the Donghuang bell. He turned around to look at the people behind him, and shook his head with a smile. I realized something. Actually, being nameless isn't that easy, but at least I've been nameless once. Nameless brother, I don't have any other requests, I just hope that you, facing the countless rain of swords, Li Muhua roared into the sky. Nameless. Listen up. If you can't make a comeback and kill this old dog, I won't acknowledge you as my brother anymore. Nameless. Do you hear me? A red shadow flashed and appeared in front of Li Muhua in the face of the rain of swords. Make a comeback, my ass, a bunch of lunatics. Chapter 422. When he saw the familiar face in front of him, Li Muhua was stunned. Immediately after, countless silver needles pierced into that person's body. -940, -920, -930. A large number of damage values appeared. At the same time, a debuff appeared, increased pain, additional 100% pain. Although the damage was only around 500,000, even someone as strong as Lu Chen could not help but bleed from the corner of his mouth as he frowned slightly. This guy actually used such a sinister method. Li Muhua's upper limit was much lower than his, which meant that he had almost suffered the pain of death twice. Chen. Nameless, you. Li Muhua looked at Lu Chen in shock. Lu Chen wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and said with a half smile and half anger, "Why did you come out? If a beauty came out instead, she might have secretly fallen in love with me." Li Muhua was speechless. This guy actually despised him. I took some time to look at your posts this morning. You actually thought that I lost in Immortal Trail Forest. Who told you that? How could you be so easily fooled? Didn't the telecom scam teach you to be smarter? Those experts said that you would definitely die. We saw such a big commotion. Even Immortal Trail Peak was destroyed. There was no way you could have survived. If I didn't survive, how did I provoke those 2 guys? Who knows? Maybe you provoked them when you just arrived at level 2. Anyway, you're not easy to deal with. Lu Chen realized that although Li Muhua was bleeding all over, his mind was unusually clear. He did not know how he did it. The players on Earth also saw this person clearly. It was Hua Xia's god of war, Nameless. It's bro Nameless. How? Why is his HP 6,500,000? Didn't he drop back to level 1? Could it be that he didn't die in the battle in Immortal Trail Forest? That's great, bro Nameless is back. Huaxia's god of war is back. Not good. Even if it's brother Nameless, I'm afraid he's no match for that guy. That guy is simply too strong. Li Muhua's teammates helped him up and glanced at Lu Qin. Nameless bro, I know. That fool was so loud just now. I heard it. Lu Qin smiled. Yes. Seeing that Li Muhua was safely sent back, Lu Qin raised his head and looked at the boy in the crowd. Lu Qin smiled at him. Little guy, this is for you. It's more than enough to exchange for some equipment. After saying that, Lu Qin tossed a piece of colorful gold gemstone to the child. Even someone like the Hunter Emperor was running around for the rainbow gold gem. The value of a single rainbow gold gem was hard to estimate. With this gem, it would not be a problem for the child to exchange for some good equipment. Jiu looked at that figure in shock. That fellow actually didn't die. After being attacked by the powerful skills of the upper heaven, not only did he not die, he seemed to have become stronger. What kind of monster was this guy? Lu Qin coincidentally saw Jiu and smiled at her. Jiu thank you. That's right, tell your friend to come back. Leave the rest to me. But Cyan Wolf is already invincible. That guy is at the 3rd level of the upper heaven. There's also the Hunter Emperor, who is already very strong. There are also 3 wild beasts. You. 3rd level. Are they terrifying? I just happen to want to experience it. It's okay. In my eyes, they're already dead. Originator, Furball, and you too, you're already young. Come out and get some exercise. With that said, 4 battle pets appeared next to Lu Qin. Furball, Originator, Chaos, and Tao Tai. 3 of the 4 battle pets were huge and intimidating. They roared as soon as they appeared. Roar. Woo. A woo. Squeak, squeak. The last roar was from Furball. Lu Qin was speechless. That guy was not intimidating at all when he didn't transform. Little Furball, don't shout. Leave it to them to take care of the situation. The 4 battle pets rushed forward and joined the battle between the 4 members of the Wood family and the Hunter Emperor, quickly replacing Xiao Tian and the others. Xiao Tian and the others returned and walked to Lu Qin, all of them in disbelief. Nameless. I'm not dead. Lu Qin shook his head. He didn't know where the rumor came from. He didn't know that the most important source of the rumor was the 5 guys from the Wood family. Thank you for your help. Feel free to ask me if you need anything in the future, said Lu Qin casually. All right, leave the rest to me. Be careful of Cyan Wolf. He's at the 3rd level of the upper heaven. Okay. After replacing his own people, Lu Qin left the Hunter Emperor to Furball and the others. He wasn't worried about them at all. At this time, Lu Qin put away his smile on his companion, and his face instantly became as cold as frost. He raised his head slightly and looked at the man opposite him. It was Cyan Wolf, an expert at the 3rd level of the upper heaven. Cyan Wolf had been looking at Furball. That battle pet was indeed strong. The Hunter Emperor was forced to dodge and not attack. That was exactly the treasure he wanted. Cyan Wolf turned around and looked down at Lu Qin. Your battle pet is strong. I like it. Lu Qin curled his lips. You want it? Then come and take it. Ha ha ha. You think someone like you is worth my time? I'm here for those rare battle pets. I didn't know that you had so many battle pets. Now that you're here, they're all mine. That being said, you are just as arrogant as the rumors say. If those people from the Wood clan could keep the Hunter Emperor busy while you fought me with your battle pet, you might be able to last a few seconds. Yet, you want to fight me one-on-one? Ha ha ha. Don't you think it's funny that a 2nd level of the upper heaven wants to fight a 3rd level of the upper heaven? Suddenly, Cyan Wolf stopped laughing and said with a gloomy face, "You and I are separated by one level of the upper heaven." Lu Qin snorted. "You're wrong. You and I are not separated by one level of the upper heaven." Cyan Wolf said coldly, "What? Are you scared? Now you know the difference between us. Then why don't you hurry up and give me your battle pets? Maybe I'll let you live." Lu Qin smiled. "What I mean is, in my eyes, you're less than an ant." Cyan Wolf narrowed his eyes. Lu Chen's words had infuriated him. "Very well. I'll make you suffer unimaginable pain and die in despair. I'll beat you back to the first level of the upper heaven." With that, Cyan Wolf's sword rain formation merged back into one of the three purities swords. Lu Chen also drew his own weapon. He moved his finger and a pure black longsword was drawn out of its sheath, standing in front of Lu Chen. At first, the sword was very thin and there was nothing special about it. However, after it was summoned, 2 rows of diamond-shaped spikes suddenly appeared on the sword's body and opened up. After the scales opened up, the sword was twice as wide as before. The entire sword looked like a black dragon covered in scales. The sword was glowing like a living creature. "Damn, what kind of weapon is that? It's so cool. I've never seen Brother Nameless use it before. It's a dazzling weapon. This is..." Jill opened her eyes wide and looked at her companion in disbelief. Xiao Tian was similarly shocked as he muttered. "Reverse water scale sword. Dropped by the tiger dragon. This is impossible. He defeated the tiger dragon of the sanctum." You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.